Hello, and welcome to the Humanity, where normally we do the things with the stuff for the people, as Matt says. But as you may notice, and if you've been following us on the socials and updates, Matt will not be joining us tonight. He's out on vacation. Well, I should say he may be joining us later if he can find some private time amidst all the family goings on and whatnot. But yeah, if not, hey, you at least got me. So welcome. Uh, yeah, and also, speaking of me, sorry if I seem a little eh, more out of it than normal, which I know out of it kind of is normal for me. It's been a long day, a lot of driving. I had to pick my daughter up in Columbus. People know I'm in Cincinnati, so that's a good 2.5 hour drive with traffic and whatnot. So, and then having to work as much as I can today. So basically, started working, drove, came back, worked more, finished work, and then set up, and then started. I also just realized a few minutes ago I didn't eat dinner, so I don't know. Fortunately, beer counts as food, right? Sure. Anyway, speaking of which, figure, might as well get to first drink tonight. Back to the third eye, Nirvana or bust. Figured since this one's a little. It doesn't say it's a hazy, but it seems a little hazy. I figure on without actually eating a real dinner, start something a little more substantial. So, but yeah. So as always, let me know in the chat, or if you're watching later in the comments, let me know what you're drinking tonight, or eating, or enjoying, just what it is you're up to while you're watching. So, always like to know what the good people are up to or enjoying in whatever manner. Let's see. Things going on. Also, remembering how to talk to other people without a Matt here. Um, oh, I guess you may notice the shirt for people who know. Big news in the world of music, especially heavy metal, hard rock world. Very sad yesterday about the passing of the great Ozzy Osbourne. So yeah, I had to pull out one of the old Black Sabbath T-shirts for the show tonight. Yeah, for people who know, like I'm a huge fan of metal music in general, so and specifically Ozzy and Sabbath. So yeah, it's one of those. I mean, obviously, celebrities like die all the time, famous people, whatever. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of a normal thing. But this is one of those deaths that really did kind of get to me a bit. yeah, it was just really sad. It was good to see, as we mentioned a few weeks ago, that he got to do that final show, both like on his own and with the original members of Black Sabbath. So yeah, raised almost $200 million for charity as well. So yeah, take that, everyone who says you need religion for that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, real sad to see him go. So appreciate everything he's done for the world of music. I mean, the kind of music I'm into probably wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him and Sabbath. And so yeah, so here's to Oz. Oh, man. No, and also speaking of people who follow me on Facebook, that is in like my personal page. No, I do every now and then some drumming videos where I just play along with songs I like, not for the purposes of like trying to nail it or whatever, but just sharing songs I really like and show how I really get into it by playing along with. So I figured yesterday, had to do a little impromptu Ozzy tribute, so played along to his song "Tomorrow" from the Osmosis album, which, as I mentioned in the post, probably not an obvious choice for people doing a musical tribute to Ozzy. You think, you play one of the big hits like Crazy Train, My Mom Coming Home, or something Sabbath like Iron Man, War Pig, something like that. But Osmosis was actually my first Ozzy album, and I just remember listening through it. The song "Tomorrow" was like always just one of my favorites. So yeah, I had to. It was a lot of fun. It was actually a song I haven't listened to in a long time, but it was cool to, after just sitting down and playing through it a few times, just how much of it came back to me, and yeah, it felt good. So if you follow me on Facebook, yeah, check out the video. Let me know what you think. I was proud of it, and my other videos that I do as well. Um, yeah. So, anywho, oh yeah. Also, may notice a slightly different look tonight. We don't have the humanity thing across the bottom, but we got our nice little logo up here. High five. Yeah, for whatever reason, I opened Restream tonight, and the crawl on the bottom was just gone. So I guess, Matt, if you're watching this or whenever you watch this, or I'll message you if you could re-upload that. Yeah, I don't know what happened. But hey, hopefully you can still tell you're watching the humanity without that. What else? Any other updates from me? I don't think so. But also, yeah, feel free to let me know in the chat what you've been up to. Anything exciting going on in your little world out there? I guess exciting news for the channel. We just hit 60 subscribers on YouTube. So yeah, thanks for everyone who, yeah, enjoys us enough to actually want to watch us, at least ostensibly, on a regular basis. But oh yes, and speaking of subscribers and such, one of our viewers, a little more well known ones, Dr. Kip Davis, he's been active in the chat the past several weeks, which we always appreciate. Even shouted us out on his show a couple times. Is Budget Scripture Saturday, show that he does with Tapioca Weasel and Dr. Tapioca Weasel and Nitty. Other folks I'm a fan of. But yeah, there was one shout out on his show in particular that I mean, I'm kind of giving him shit about it, but I just his wording kind of amused me, so I figured I had to combine it with something he left in the chat one week. So for people who follow us, you may have already seen this, but if not, just want to show you this little promo clip that I put together, kind of giving Kip a hard time, but also saying how much we appreciate his patronage, fandom. That's a thing. Anyway, so yeah, I just feeling a little ornery over the weekend and put this together.
If you aren't subscribed to the Humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah, I wondered where you went.
We're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
For those of you just listening to this for some reason, when it cut to me and Matt, it showed Kip in the bottom saying in the chat that he had dozed off, so, which we were just amused by. So I figured I had to give him at least some shit for that. I mean, you be the judge. Also, how's it going, BS? Good to see you. But I just loved his wording of it's usually pretty good. So apparently when it's not, he dozes off. So, oh, yeah, not quite. All right. Well, maybe next time. If he gives us more material to work with, we'll see what we can do. So, yeah. Well, with that, figured let's say we get to some videos. So the first one we're watching tonight, for those who saw us last week, we covered Mike Winger going through, I guess, a comment some atheist left on a video or something that was supposed to be a list of 10 proofs for why God doesn't exist or whatever. And it was one of those things where it's like, a little, I wouldn't say they were the best arguments or even some of the points he was making, even if there was like a good point in there somewhere, it wasn't necessarily worded the best way, which, hey, it'd be rather hypocritical of me to give someone too much shit about not doing the words good with the thing. But even with that, like, there was still some good points in there that I felt either were just going way over Mike's head, or he was just misunderstanding, or just not addressing very well. So yeah, if you're curious, you can go back and watch that from last week. We had fun with it. But tonight, what I'm starting with is apparently there was a challenge. I don't know who started it, between Mike Winger and another YouTuber for the channel Red Pen Logic, Mr. B. I guess he's a former teacher, and like his shtick, which honestly, it's a pretty cool gimmick for a YouTube channel, is he goes through different arguments. I think usually like non-Christian, atheist, like anti-Christian, whatever kind of arguments, and he goes through with his red pen to like correct all their mistakes and errors, like a teacher. I'm very familiar with that from my days in school. But yeah, so apparently, like I said, I don't know if Mr. B or Mike Winger started this, but I guess there was a challenge between the two of them to cover this list of 10 arguments from this atheist in, I don't know, was it like 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it was. And also, if you remember, Mike Winger kind of cheated, because one of his answers was, go watch this video that I made that's an hour long. And that'll answer this point. It's like, that feels like cheating to me, but oh well. I guess you can go back and watch for yourself, and you be the judge. So, all right, now let's see here if I can remember where things are. Now, just warning you, there's a little bit of a Mr. B jump scare, so just prepare yourselves. All right, we ready? We're good? Okay. And of course, it goes to the wrong spot. But yeah, this is the frame his video starts with, and it's kind of creepy as fuck. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, and I haven't watched this one. Where I think the Mike Winger one we did last week, I did actually watch that beforehand, so I was a little prepared. But this one, I have not seen. I think I maybe like. Just as I was like scrolling through the video to make sure this was the correct one, I saw his answers to one of them, so I'm already a little bit disappointed. But yeah, I haven't seen his entire response to it, so sorry, BS. If you need me to go pause so you can like change your pants or whatever, let me know. No, but speaking of, I figure, no pressure for anyone, obviously, but since it's just me here tonight. Why is this there? I figure I'm going to go, just if anyone's interested at any point, no pressure. I just put a link out in the chat if anyone else wants to hop on and join me as we watch some apologist videos and react, respond, and all that. So yeah, links out there if anyone wants to join. See, I do actually, and you read my mind, dude. So yeah, hop on BS. I'll give you a minute here if you like. Or if you want me to get started without you, that's cool too. But yeah, I can wait a few. I'd say everyone, hey, talk amongst yourselves. But I don't know. It seems like BS is the only one talking amongst himself, and he's about to join me anyway. So, man. But oh yeah, and I guess a quick preview for the second video we're watching. It's a longer video. It's let's see. It's from a debate from Deconstruction Zone. I forget the gentleman's real name, but it's a YouTube channel, Deconstruction Zone, against a Father Joseph, who's an Orthodox priest, talking about, like, basically, is God good? And this is I saw a clip from this being covered by the channel Mr. Deity on YouTube. People aren't familiar with Mr. Deity, check him out, subscribe, watch his stuff. He makes a lot of like shorter videos if you're into the shorter stuff, not the more prolonged content we usually purvey here. Yeah, like videos are usually like 5-7 minute things like that. But yeah, he covered this one, so that's how it came to my attention. And sorry, not Mr. B, the Orthodox priest dude defending God and how he's really good. It went to some pretty interesting places as far as like the lengths he was going to, like defending specifically the violence committed by God in the Bible, specifically against younger people. Yeah, but some of the arguments he was making, like on top of just being like very extreme, I thought just the basic logic and the approach he was taking to it, I thought was very indicative of the way a lot of apologetics work. And I think just in this instance, it was just like such a stark issue, I think really highlighted it. So, yeah. All right. So, all right. Well, I guess I'll get started. I will give you a few, but only a few. Anyway, all right. So, here we go with Mr. B taking on 10 proofs of no God, or whatever. What was it called? Atheist offers 10 fallacies to disprove God that he thinks are fallacies, but I guess we'll find out, won't you?
This is going to be a good one. So a few days ago, I'm scrolling through the comment section of this channel, and I came across something that left me speechless. At first, I wasn't sure if this was serious or if it was just a joke. The comment claimed to offer 10 ways to prove that God doesn't exist. This comment also caught the attention of my friend, Mike Winger, who has a teeny tiny YouTube channel called The Bible Thinker. You probably haven't heard of it. For fun, I challenged Winger to respond to all 10 challenges in less than 2 minutes. Mike said, under 2 minutes? That's 12 seconds each. I don't know if I can do that. I said, fine, 3 minutes. He replied,
this guy's maybe being harder on Mike than we were. Jeez.
Challenge accepted. But why should Mike get to have all the fun? So, because I'm a good sport, I decided to show Winger how it's done. It's time to make Mike my wingman.
Like, okay, people know, like, I'm a dad. Okay, I was gonna say, okay, thanks, Kip. I guess for the excuse. By the way, speaking of, now the Kip's here, did you see the little promo that I made involving you? So, if you didn't, let me know. I'd be happy to play it again. So I appreciate the shout outs and like support you give the show. So I had to make it into a little promo. Hopefully that's all right with you. But yeah, let me know if you missed that or if you need me to replay it. So yeah, but that joke, like, it's going to make Mike his wingman. It's like, I don't know if that even makes sense. Like, even as like a dad joke, like a bad dad joke. Like, how's he your wingman if you're challenging him to something and you're trying to do something better than him? I don't understand that. No, maybe I'm trying too hard. I do that every now and then.
This is Red Pen Logic with Mr. B, where we help you assess bad thinking by using good thinking, and we have way too much fun while we're doing it. Today's challenge comes courtesy of
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Dr. Kip, I guess you missed it. I made a little promo for the channel involving one of your shout outs that you gave us on one of your streams and some of your interactions in the chat. So maybe I'll play it again after we do this video. So stay tuned, Dr. Kip, and anyone else who may have missed that.
Brian Doyle. He offers 10 ways to prove that God doesn't exist. Let's see what he's got. Video guy, please put 3 minutes on the clock. And let's include a fallacy counter, just because. Proof number 1.
All right, I'm going to take off captions. That seems to be blocking some of the graphics that the good video guy went to all the trouble to put on there. So
The fact that a human being has to tell you about the existence of your God proves there's no God. We would be born with knowledge of its existence. The first proof offers the first fallacy. It's called a non sequitur. The conclusion just doesn't follow. Human beings have to tell us about the existence of all kinds of things, but that doesn't prove that those things don't exist.
Okay, calling that a non sequitur, like, yes, in general, and I feel like this is something that's going to come up a lot because it did with Mike as well as like, okay, yeah, when you're just talking about anything, yeah, that's saying that other people have to tell you about it isn't a proof that it doesn't exist, obviously. But you have to take into account the nature of the thing you're talking about. Like, take things like black holes out in space. Like, yes, I would have no idea what a black hole was or if they existed or where they existed if no one told me about it. But that's because black holes don't give a shit if I know if they exist or not. And they can't just let me know themselves anyway. They aren't these sentient things, or I guess maybe it depends on who you ask. Maybe some people think they are, but regardless, the point is, and again, this is one of my issues maybe with this Brian Doyle fellow and the way he's phrasing a lot of these. I feel like a lot of these are very specifically against the Christian God, but it's just said in a very general God sense. Yeah, because I mean, if you look throughout the list, like using a lot of verses from the Bible, looks like Old Testament, so I guess it could be Jewish or Christian God. But yeah, but the way that this specific God or gods, you know, like I said, it's like Christian, like the Christian God, the Jewish God aren't necessarily the same thing. Even like the Jewish God, there can be several different versions. Anyway, we'll just say the God of the Bible, as if there is such a thing, is presented as an intelligent, conscious being that is very interested in people knowing that he usually exists. And also the Bible is full of examples of him communicating that directly with people. Without, I mean, yes, there are some circumstances where like God uses different like prophets or whatever to tell other people, but God is still comfortable showing up himself to people to prove like that he exists, tell people what they want, whatever, what he wants. So yeah, so this actually is a good argument saying that if God isn't telling you himself that he exists and you only know about him because other people told you about him, based on the nature of this God that they're proposing, that does seem pretty suspicious. Like I said, again, I don't know if that's necessarily a proof that he doesn't exist, but it's definitely a good argument against his existence. So, but Mr. B is misunderstanding or misattributing a fallacy here where it's kind of missing the real core point of what Brian is saying here. Feeling that's going to be a theme as well.
Example, teachers tell terrified students about fractions, but that doesn't prove there's no fractions. Bad start. Proof number 2.
Yeah, again, fractions don't care if you know if they exist or not. Like they can't tell you about themselves. Like, yeah. In fact, that'd be pretty weird if fractions did start telling me that they exist. Then I would, yeah, that'd be weird. All right. Okay, this next one is the one I did see just a brief snippet of his response to, and I'm already disappointed. Just warning you.
A God belief is simple geography. Being raised in a Christian home decides which God you believe in. This is a textbook example of the genetic fallacy.
As we discussed with Mike Winger last week, what he's doing here is a textbook example of a Christian apologist misunderstanding the genetic fallacy. Let's let him continue.
Cannot invalidate a belief by showing how someone came to hold that belief. So this proof is about God belief, not about whether or not God exists. Put another fallacy on the board. So much.
Again, you have to take into account the nature of what's being proposed. This whole argument about how what you believe about God, or if you believe in God at all, depends so much on where you're born, where you're raised, where you live, all that. Again, given the nature of this God, that should not be the case. So this isn't the genetic fallacies. Like, so let's say, like, in order to believe in the Christian God, you should probably live in like the United States, Canada, Europe, certain parts of the Middle East, places like Israel where, Christianity started. Like, so yes, if you were to say that, well, Christianity is wrong because people in these areas believe it, like, yes, that would be the genetic fallacy, but that is not what Brian is saying. And to hopefully help me explain this, welcome to the show, Mr. B.S. Lewis. How you doing, buddy? Oh, where'd he go? He was there a second ago, I swear. And I swear I didn't kick him off, but... Oh, there he is. Hello.
What's up? You hear me?
I do. How's it going?
Good. Restream hates my guts, so I might be dropping
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to hear that. So how you been?
I'm good.
Lost you again. Damn it. All right. Well, while he's trying to rejoin, I'm going to just... Sorry, I'm just going to type a thing here real quick. So bear with me, folks. Typing, clicking things. So yeah, let's get back to the video. Give BS another chance to get things figured out on his end. But yeah, sorry, folks. I'm just as disappointed as you are. I love hanging out with BS. So, all right. So yeah, here we have, like I said, textbook example of an apologist misunderstanding and misapplying the genetic fallacy. So, super shy. That's gotta be it. Yeah, that, because there's one thing I know about B.S. Lewis is like he just hates talking to people. He just can't do it. Just can't do it. And sensitive. Yeah. I don't know. I have sworn a cuss or two tonight. He may be scared off by that. But all right, switching the laptop. All right. Well, so let's continue with Mr. B misunderstanding things.
For proof number 2. Proof number 3. There was no time before the Big Bang, so that means that there was no time for a God to exist in or create things in. This challenge mistakenly assumes that God is necessarily a temporal being, that he must exist and act in time. But Christians have traditionally held that God is a timeless being outside of time prior to creation. So there's no proof here. just a straw man fallacy.
Okay, so here also, sorry, I meant to say hello, Spooky Bed here. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Always appreciate you. All right, so his defense of this is, in a way, you could say is a bit of begging the question, in that, like, assuming the truth of your conclusion in the premise, or maybe that's how it's worded. I don't know. Basically, he's using a concept from the Bible to prove that the God of the Bible exists. Where if this thing in the Bible is true, then the God that the Bible says exists. Something like that. So I may not be wording that the bestly. Sorry, one more thing. Oh, look, it's looks like our weekly Twitch bot. Had to block real quick. Anyway, okay, but the problem with this is, again, got to look at the nature of what's being proposed. I guess not so much in this case. This is more just logically, it doesn't make sense for a God, now that we know, like, that time began at a certain point in the universe, like with the Big Bang and everything. That means before that, there was really no time for a God to, like, do anything, because a God or anything doing something requires time to do the thing. That there's no time, there's no doing things, because things just kind of are. Because, like, doing is a process, But so it's saying that the claims that the Bible is making about God don't make sense because of what we can tell about reality and the way it works. And his response is, oh, but the Bible says God can do that. It's like, okay. Yeah, I have the feeling this is going to happen a lot, where it's one of those arguments that to me is just so obviously wrong and dumb that actually finding the words to fully express how wrong and dumb it is difficult, because you'd never thought you'd have to actually find words to explain something so obvious. For anyone who's a parent like myself, that's something I understood very quickly while raising my kids, is being much more sympathetic to all the times growing up where my parents were trying to, like, discipline or scold or correct me, or in whatever fashion, when I was acting up. But it seemed like they just couldn't find words to say, or they just would just blurt stuff out that made no sense. I understand. It's because, like, there are some times where you think, okay, there is never going to be a time where I'm going to actually have to explain this concept to another human being, because it is so obvious that, like I said, trying to find the words in the moment, just very difficult. Things like when my son, like, just jumps on his sister's back while she's laying on the floor reading a book or something, and I have to say, like, don't do that. And he's like, why? It's like, and then your brain just kind of breaks for a second, because you're like, what do you mean, why? Then you try to come up with some kind of words. So, but yeah, I feel like that's going to be happening with me a lot. But fortunately, I may have some help now. Welcome back, I hope, B.S. Lewis.
Hello.
How
are you doing, my friend?
Yeah. I don't know why it's weird. You won't show my little bubble, but on the mobile version, it wanted to show my little avatar with you.
I don't know why.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Nobody needs to see me. But speaking of visuals, I will say for you in the audience, like, you and Barnett look like you could be brothers. I hope that's not offensive.
Well, as long as I'm the better looking brother, that's
sure.
Yeah, which is also funny, because, like, I have two brothers and neither of them look anything like that. So,
you look like,
for me, I guess
you look like the less evil of the two brothers. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
he looks like a Sith Lord in that freeze frame.
Man, tell me I look less evil even while wearing the Black Sabbath shirt. And, man,
is that a tribute to Ozzy or what?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's something I mentioned, like, right at the top of the show, so a lot of people probably missed. But yeah, in case people haven't heard, yeah, Ozzy unfortunately passed away yesterday, which honestly, it's a miracle he survived as long as he did.
I was going
You
to
know?
say the same thing. I
Yeah,
thought he was on the death's doorstep in his reality TV shows.
right? Or even like the rest of the original members of Black Sabbath are all still alive, and as you know, as a few weeks ago, we're like still performing. I know like Tony and Bill are both like still making music. So yeah, it's when
It's
you
a
think of how
testament.
many.
It's a testament to making a deal with the devil for sure.
Right, I don't see what else it could possibly be, because especially you think of like all the bands, especially of like that genre, like from like the 70s, like how many of them still have all of their original members alive, or at least did as of a couple days ago. Yeah.
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
There's actually a few of them, and it's surprising because they all lead that hard rock star life, but they still live to
Right.
their 90s.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Keith Richards, I mean, I think he's just eternal.
Yeah,
But,
all the Rolling Stones are alive
yeah.
too, right? Or did one of them die? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I actually don't know. So, but hey, you know, I might as well throw out a unsubstantiated claim for reasons. Anyway, but
In honor of Tim Barnett.
right, yeah, I was going to say like all these apologists are having an effect on me, but yeah, but like I said, in lieu of, like I said, I don't know how to get like, it's not letting me put even your avatar on screen. That's something I meant to look into on Restream to see if I could figure out how to do, but that was the other thing. Like today, I was basically like working and driving back home and working like right till starting tonight. So maybe for next time. But I at least did get like the little ticker along the bottom of the screen letting people know that you're on the line. So
Yeah, it's not
But
a
yeah.
big deal. People will just think you're talking to a ghost or something.
ooh. Maybe I should put that like, yes, this is a ghost. But for people unfamiliar with B.S. Lewis, you'll find his name there in the chat. Click on him and yeah, check out his channel. We're big fans here at the Humanity. So, okay. So Spooky Bed Hair says one original Rolling Stone died many years ago. Oh yeah, I think I knew that. Yeah.
That was in fact Spooky Bedhair. Now he's a ghost.
Oh,
He
his
haunts,
channel is haunted.
he haunts all the YouTube atheist channels now.
Well, I'm honored that you chose to haunt this place. Yeah, I mean, all them rock and/or rollers, they're in sorta diaboli.
So what I missed so
Latin.
far in the in getting ready, did Tim Barnett defeat atheism?
He came damn close, and by that I mean completely misunderstood the point of everything he's covered so far. So, have you caught any of his responses yet, or?
I've probably already seen this video. I just don't know when. It's kind of older, right?
Yeah, I think it was like 4 years ago, but I haven't actually watched it yet. We did like last week. We covered the Mike Winger end of it, but yeah, for people who I don't know if people can read that on screen, but like for the first one, he's saying how like basically the fact that a human being has to tell you that God exists proves that he does. And again, this is something I've said like with this list, like I don't know who this Brian Doyle person is. I think the way he worded these things is maybe not the best, and these aren't necessarily like proofs that no God exists, but there are really good points in there that make it really kind of suspicious if this God exists or not. So what Mr. B was saying, the problem with the whole, well, because people had to tell you that God exists. He's like, okay, well, people have to tell you that all kinds of things exist, like fractions, but that doesn't mean fractions don't exist. I'm like, okay, but fractions are also not sentient, can't talk, and don't give a shit if I know if they exist or not. Unlike the God that they're proposing, who apparently does. So, or there's an example I use a lot is like, you know, as a father, it's like, but if I was just like an absentee father, like my kids didn't know me, never met me, but if someone just told my kids like, oh, you have a very loving father who like really wants to get to know you, but they'd be like, okay, well then why didn't he tell me, and why have I never seen him? Like, so in that instance, I think like if someone else has to tell you that this thing exists, that if it did exist should be able to tell you itself, then that's kind of, I don't know, not disproof necessarily, but evidence to the contrary, I guess. So yeah,
Yeah, it's that loving part that shoots it in the foot, because then that suggests that it's motivated
Mhm.
to actually seek out a relationship with you.
Right.
Fun fact about me, like I ended up finding out I have a sister, but I didn't find out until I was like 20 something years old. And everybody else in my family knew about it, and they said, "Oh, you remember that time where dad had that affair before your mom, and you have another sibling?" I was like, "No, no one ever told me that." Apparently, she doesn't want to have a relationship with me.
Yeah. Damn.
But that's like when people talk
Wow.
about truth and knowledge and stuff, and things we take for granted that we know. I know I have so many siblings. Like that came crashing down in my 20s. I'm like, all right, there's something to be had with this separation between knowledge and belief, because I thought I knew
Right.
I knew I had this amount of siblings, when it turned out I didn't. So
Yeah.
it was
Wow.
kind of
That's
a weird story.
yeah. Yeah. But so you would think, like, if you had this sibling that had the powers of a god and the interest in a relationship that the Christian God apparently has, then you would think there would be no mystery to it. Like, she would definitely
Reach out.
let you know, make it happen. Yeah. So again, like, so he's taking the whole, like, yeah, it's like I said, he's just misunderstanding the argument and
Yeah, because in that
completely
case,
discounting what's being argued, like, from his end, like what he's kind of God he's proposing.
because yeah, I could get it from his case, because it took other people letting me know that I had a sibling for me to know I had a sibling. But the difference is, as with all analogies pertaining to God, he's all powerful, he's all loving. No analogy is ever going to fit him perfectly, because he's a one of a kind example of a thing. And
Right,
so, if if my sister wanted to have that relationship with me, she would have let me know, and she would have sought me out. But that would be the one-to-one analogy, which doesn't fit out in this instance.
right, exactly. So yeah, so that was the first argument. The second one was a very typical misapplication of the genetic fallacy on Mr. B's part, because Brian was making the argument how what you believe in, like whether or not you believe in God or what kind of God, depends on where
Don't do
you
it.
were born in the world, like where you live. And he said, "Oh, that's the genetic fallacy." And I'm like, "No, that's another apologist misunderstanding and misapplying the genetic fallacy. Because again, based on the type of God we're proposing, it shouldn't matter where you live. Like the genetic fallacy would be saying, well, just because Christianity is popular in the United States and Canada and Europe, and I don't know if it's still popular in Israel or parts of it. Basically, just take all the places in the world where Christianity is popular and say,
South
well, it's
America.
wrong because, yeah, but saying it's wrong because it's popular in these areas, but which is not the argument at all. So, yeah. So he says, oh, that's the genetic fallacy, which and if I had a nickel for every time I heard an apologist hear that argument and say it's the genetic fallacy, man,
You'd have a bag full of nickels.
I would. That I could smack this guy in the face with. I mean, anyway, okay, so now I was going to wait, but since Dr. Kip is requesting it.
Don't do it. He's just pandering. He's like, talk about me some more on your show. As if you don't have enough street cred, Dr. Kip. You need to get over here.
Well, hey, well, I don't know. Depending on your point of view, I don't know if this is pandering or not, but
give him what he wants.
Yeah, because I did post this on the YouTube page and I titled it Dr. Kip endorses the humanity and immediately regrets it. So watch and pay close attention to, like, when it cuts to me and Matt, make sure you notice the chat. So anyone who's just listening, make sure you watch. So also featuring a good friend of the show, Nitty. So, all right. Here we go again, the latest promo for the humanity, featuring the one and only Dr. Kip.
If you aren't subscribed to the humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah, I wondered where you went.
We're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
He's so generous, Kip.
Which, and also, Kip, I just love. I mean, I know you didn't do this on purpose. I just loved your wording of it's usually pretty good.
Yeah, it's
And apparently, when it's not, we put you to sleep. So
it's a rave review right there.
but I just want to make sure you know, like that's all completely done in love. That was just being a dick. Because hey, I'm American. That's how we roll.
Kip has a
But
good
because I also need to point out what he was actually talking about with like what he did for us, was actually something that was really really cool. Because I had mentioned on one of our streams, like, oh good, they got gets the seal of approval. Well, thank you, Kip, for providing the source material for me to butcher like an apologist. I was just being creative with it. Was that like, yeah, that's yeah, creative with the source material. That's what that is. But yeah, what he actually did for us that he was letting us know about, like I said, something really cool on one of our streams a while ago. I'd mentioned how I missed the his use of music by Circle of Dust in his videos, I think in the outros, and he talked about how it was he would get copyright struck every time he put it in the video, so he stopped. But he said he'd see what he can do, and then he made another video of him, like I think it was like a GoPro video of him mountain biking through the woods with his dog, and he put Circle of Dust in the video, and so that's what he was saying he did for us, which I still appreciate. So, but yes, not as bad as you imagine. I may have to use that in another promo. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm sorry I missed this question a little bit. I wanted to make sure I got to this. So find truth. Thanks for joining. I don't recognize your name from the chat before. If you have been here before, my apologies. But if you're new, welcome. But find truth asks, how can something without a will produce a being that has a will? Short answer, I don't know.
It's all powerful. That would be a good answer, right?
Interesting. Yeah, but I guess would it still have to have a will to actually do anything with all that power? I don't know. But
we're getting deep philosophical here and questioning if God even has free will. Because
right, there's that too. Yeah.
If God has the omni nature, then he can't act against his nature, and so that it asks the question, or begs the question, if he has free will in the first place.
Yeah, that's true. So find truth. If you'd like to clarify a little more or elaborate, let me know. I will say, like, this is an argument where people say, well, how can a non-thing, or say, how can a thing be made by a non-thing like that? But this is something that seems like Christians want to try to have both ways, because like when we're talking about like how life formed, or like abiogenesis, to say, well, how can life come from non-life? But then when it comes to the universe, it's like, well, if something's material and it has time and space, like, well, then it has to come from something that's not all of those things. It's like you're trying to have it both ways. But again, find truth. If you want to clarify, elaborate, yeah, please let me know.
I feel like they don't understand chemistry if they ask that question, because you can get emergent properties that don't belong to the two beginning sets, like concrete. You have dust plus water equals hardness.
Right.
So neither one of them has the property of hardness until you mix them together. Then they have hardness.
Mm-hmm. Right. Or one of my favorite analogies is like, well, you can make cake from non-cake, and I very much appreciate that you can do that, because like you have eggs, flour, sugar, milk, butter, vanilla, whatever else is in cake. Like all of those things on their own, not cake, like at all. But you put them together and you have a completely new thing. Now, this also gets into like mereological nihilism and the question of like, are there really actual different things, or is everything just a rearrangement of the same things? But yeah, anyway.
True that.
But yeah, fucking killer track. Yes. Now, I will admit, I had not heard that particular track that you put in there, because as much as I say I love Circle of Dust, like I haven't heard all of their stuff. Gonna, cop to that. But while we're on the subject of Circle of Dust, personal favorite tracks of mine would have to be Deviate and Chasm. Just really love those two songs. But yeah, the one you had on there on your video was awesome as well, and I still very much appreciate that. So thank you.
Can I make an observation here?
Mm-hmm. You certainly can.
Everybody that I know personally who loves like dark death metal are usually the most peaceful and sweet people. and it's so weird. It's like you have this dark death metal-y type of
Mhm.
genre, and then you talk to them and they're like, oh, I just went and walked my dog and took a ride around the nature, and I loved nature. And you're like, are you the same person who's promoting I slept with your mother's dead corpse by such and such like band? It's like, what the hell's wrong with you guys?
Oh yeah, I mean, also I just appreciate the Portal shout out here by Spooky Bed here. But yeah, I mean, you familiar with the band Cannibal Corpse?
Yeah, I don't know that much heavy
Yeah,
metal. I know I've heard
yeah,
the name.
yeah. So they're like, as far as like death metal, like they are one of like the bands. But yeah, so they're called Cannibal Corpse. First of all, their lead vocalist name's goes by the name Corpse Grinder. Um,
Let me guess,
but
he spends his spare time hugging trees.
Well, here's what he does whenever they're on tour. At every city they stop at, apparently this guy's like an expert at those claw machines, like you find in like stores with all like the stuffed animals and stuff. And whenever they're on tour, whatever city they're in, he'll go find some claw machines and get like a bunch of stuffed animals, and then like donate them to like a children's hospital or something.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
So yeah, shit like that. But then he'll like go on stage and sing songs like "Hammer Smash Face" and stuff like that.
Kip is giving us an explanation that this is a creative outlet for anger and aggression.
Yeah, I mean, it's there's definitely something to that. Yeah, because I know, like, I mean, for me, like sometimes listening to like super like aggressive, whether it's like angry or sad, depressed, or a combination of the two, it's just cathartic. Like it's a way for me to like release those emotions other than like actually being like violent or aggressive myself, like in, very negative ways.
Instead of murdering old ladies, you walk them across the street.
Exactly. So let's see. All right, another question from Jones Beige. Another name I don't recognize. So thanks for joining. A true statement is either universe is infinite or universe had a beginning. I mean, I guess those are the only options. I suppose.
I'm going to go no, because he's being sneaky. He's being sneaky.
Okay.
I would ask you, Joan Beige, what is the universe made out of? If you're going to answer energy and matter, then that's eternal.
Yeah.
And it transferred into the local substantiation of the universe that we currently know, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't a universe and another substantiation before the Big Bang. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. It depends. Yeah, on how you're using the words and what exactly they mean. Yeah, good point. See, this is why I brought you on. So
yeah, do the heavy lifting. All right, do we have to call Dr. B Dr. B? Like, oh, go ahead with your.
I think it's Mr. B. At least it's not Doctor. But
it's so dumb. I mean, it seems like it screams youth pastor vibes.
Yeah, I know. So I mean, feel free to call him whatever you want. I probably won't complain.
Tommy's twin.
Hey, I said probably won't mind. I made sure to qualify that statement. So
okay.
I've learned my lesson. So.
All right.
But Jones says, so if you can agree on the first statement, the next statement is every proven matter be observed. Well, I'm not saying I agree that the universe is infinite. Like, I don't know. So
I agree that it was either or.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the feeling Jones is trying to have a conversation that, no offense, I'm just in catch me another time. I may be interested in this conversation, but it's just not where my brain's at right now. And I'm autistic, so it's hard to get my brain to do something it doesn't want to do. And yes, I refer to my brain as a separate entity because that's how I work. Okay, I guess you could call him by his actual name. Yeah.
Ooh, that's no fun. I call him Robert Paulson. His name is Robert Paulson.
Robert Paulson. All right. So let it be written. So let it be done. All right. Well, let's get back to old Bobby here.
Proof number 4. The Abrahamic God cannot exist because it wasn't the first God to be created. There are other gods that have been proclaimed to exist before this God. They can't all be true, so if we can deny the existence of one of these gods, we can use the same method to deny them all.
Real quick. Oh, worked for Greg Kokel. That explains why he just pisses me all the way the hell off. So yeah, so again, this argument that he's making here about how like the Abrahamic God wasn't the first God to exist, again, like phrasing this as a proof that God doesn't exist because others existed before him. We're all, I am Robert Paulson.
Yeah, Kip got the reference.
I do not actually, because I would say I do not typically get references. So
You don't
anyway,
have to put it in quotes, though. It really is references.
What's that?
You don't have to put it in quotes. It really is a reference.
No, I meant like, I don't know. To me, like I was saying, like I don't. I that was me trying to say I don't do what you call getting references. Like I meant it more like that.
No, I know. That's
Yeah.
that's a reference. I just don't know what reference that is. There's a comedian that does that. Is it Chris Farley? It might be Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. He does that a lot. Yeah.
He lives down in a van by the river.
River.
I don't do drugs.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a thing. It's a little shtick I like to use a lot with the things. But yeah.
You're making references. That's great.
Oh yeah, I'm growing. So yeah, this, like I said, so the argument that since the Abrahamic God wasn't the first God to exist, or at least like in the literature or to be created or whatever, like again, just on its own, saying that like other concepts of God existed before this concept of God exists doesn't necessarily mean no God exists. Again, but again, taking the nature of this God that's being proposed, it's like, okay, well, if this God is being presented to us, is like, this is the God that's been around forever and people have always known about him. But if you can show examples of people not knowing about him and thinking other gods actually existed, then again, it's not no gods exist. It's just making this one particular God seem a little more suspect. I don't know what your thoughts on that were.
I'm going to anticipate Tim Darnett's answer here.
I like that name, too.
And he's going to say, well, just because this God showed up later after other gods doesn't mean he doesn't exist. It's that he didn't choose to reveal himself until that time. And that's, it's not a great question by the atheist.
Right. Yeah. And then there's also a question of like, well, if he didn't choose to reveal himself for all that time, like, why not? He just like, well, fuck all these people. I don't care if they know me or not. They can go to hell, literally. So,
in mysterious ways.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, I forgot. The old escape hatch. So works for everything, and also works for nothing in the same way. So, but let's hear Tim Darnett. I like that. I may have to keep that. See what he has to say about this.
If this is a good argument against God, then it's also a good argument against science, since older false concepts are often replaced by newer true concepts. On Doyle's logic, since the older geocentric view is false, we can just deny the newer heliocentric view by the same.
Again, missing the point, and misunderstanding that it's all about the nature of what's being proposed. Again, science doesn't give a shit if we have it figured out or not. I feel like I'm a broken record on this video.
No, he's doing this on purpose, I think, because he's conflating that with the God concept, it's revealed, with the science concept, it's discovered. Right. And so the discovery depends on us, finite beings who are not all perfect and all good and everything, but the revealing process on God's behalf depends on the all-knowing, all-powerful God who you would assume by his ontological nature could reveal himself in all knowledge at any time he wanted to.
Indeed. Yeah. So yeah, just like the whole, like in the first point, I was trying to say like well, the fact that other humans have to tell you about them is like, well, other people have to tell you about fractions too. Yeah, same thing. It's just missing the point, making an argument that doesn't actually address it, and it's apologetics. So
you got a good freeze frame there because Barnett's looking a little crazy.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed. Like going back to when we were covering like Wes Huff like a few weeks back, it seems like depending on who it is, my freeze frame talents they're like it varies because like with people like the Darnets and the Huffsters, it's like every time it's like it was so easy for me to pause them on a super awkward face. But then last week when we were watching, I feel bad, I can't remember the name of the channel, but I don't know if she's actually atheist, but just like counter apologetic, or I guess this video was more talking about like politics and like the way like the MAGA Christians were responding to the whole like flooding in Texas, and they're like, oh, well, that's great actually because all those little camper girls are in heaven now. And she was saying why that was bullshit, but I found like every time I paused her, she had like a completely normal looking face. So I don't know, maybe like the whole like random pause freeze frame thing is kind of a reflection of the soul.
Yeah, I think you just have a gift, and you do need to embrace that.
Embrace / figure out how to monetize. So, one of these days. All right. So let's hear him continue to misunderstand things.
Method. Of course, this is silly. We should weigh the evidence for each theory and for each God. Another non sequitur on the board. Proof number.
Yeah. Again, like so the evidence for this God is like you're telling me that he's again wanting us all to know that he exists and he's existed from the beginning of time, and therefore the existence of human existence. So we should have known about him the whole time. So the fact that we haven't is kind of some disconfirmation. So anyway.
Number 5. God either allows the devil to exist and is an accomplice, or it isn't an all-powerful God. An all-powerful and all-loving God wouldn't allow the devil to exist. Isaiah 45:7, KJ.
Yeah, again, this is more just again, I hate how this is all phrased. These are proofs that God doesn't exist. It's really more just questioning the way this God is presented, saying like this doesn't actually make sense. So yeah, I don't know. Before we get into his response, have you had any initial thoughts on this?
Yeah, argument? Well, these are all good ways to disprove a specific God. Like that's the way the problem of evil does work, because it disproves a specific God. It doesn't disprove deism or anything.
Right.
But
or a God who's just an asshole.
Yeah, malevolent God. But
yeah,
what is interesting here is that this is framed completely in the Christian view of Satan, when the Jewish view has Satan kind of working for God. And his main goal is to tempt and test mankind on behalf of God, not a polar opposite to God. So he's not God's enemy. He is an accomplice, like this question is asking. But that's his job. His job is to see if we got the stuff. And he's the one who's putting hurdles and obstacles in our way. But he's doing so on behalf of God. And so, like, you can look at this, and it wouldn't make any sense from a Christian point of view, but it makes sense from a Jewish point of view.
Good point. Yeah, like in the story of Job, even though like it's really like the Satan, or like Hasatan, meaning like the accuser. So it's a character in the story, like not what we currently think of as the devil, at least in like a Christian context, but whatever you want to call the character, like, yes, in that story, he's like, he's just a part of the divine council and he's talking with God. It's like, hey, let's have a bet and see if we can figure a thing out about your dude here. And God's like, yeah, sure, go for it. So,
well, yeah, that's the nail. The Job story is the nail in the coffin. I don't remember the verse specifically. I think it's chapter 2, though. There's a specific verse where God, after he does the first round and he kills Job's children and he does the stuff to the cattle and the properties and everything, but isn't allowed to touch his body, he comes back and he says, like, see what happened? And God says to him, you have incited me to do this to him without cause, which demonstrates that it's Satan's will, but God's power. Because if it's Satan's power, then Satan has the power to control the wind, because that's how his kids are killed. A tornado knocks the house on top of him. And if you look at Jesus, they ask the question in Mark, they say, when he calms the storm, he says, who else can control the winds and the waves but God? Well, if Satan can, there's your answer. If he can't, then the Trinity is a scam, and Jesus is just working on behalf of God. He's not actually God himself.
Which there is that theory that Jesus is actually Satan. So.
I love that theory. It causes cognitive dissonance like a mofo.
I know. And I love it so for that. All right. Well, let's see how Mr. Darnett responds to this.
AV. Doyle sets up a false dilemma. It's not an either or. There's another option. God is all powerful and all loving, and God allows the devil to exist because he has good reason to do so. Which is why philosophically trained atheists have largely abandoned this.
The good reason to do so is because he works for the God. That's why I just said that.
Or because really, again, that's. But the way he's presenting it, that's not really
any better
rebuttal to that, but it's not even really a rebuttal, because the question is saying, like, God has no good reason to do this based on what we know about him, and he's saying no, but actually here's the thing, God does have good reason.
Checkmate, atheist.
Yeah. It's like wait, no, like that's no, but you're I mean, maybe I paused him too soon. Maybe he's about to tell us what that good reason is, because he knows so much about this God who is mysterious and so high above us, but he can tell us about him anyway.
Greater goods, probably.
Yeah. Let's see.
Proof. Fallacy. False dilemma.
Nope.
Proof number.
Oh.
That's it. He has better reasons. Duh.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so argument, like, God doesn't have a good reason to let the devil continue to do his thing, and apologist response, yeah, he does.
Yeah,
Next.
I get so tired of arguing morality with Christians, because if God is the standard that they set their morality on, whatever he does or says goes. And so he's going to say he has a good reason. The good reason that they're talking about is that he just has a reason, because he is the good, whatever reason. If he wants to go on a mass genocide spree, that's a good reason, because it's his reason. He doesn't even really have to have a reason. He just has to be like, I feel like doing this today, therefore it's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like you said, it's a lot of the arguments is like Christians they may even like examine the reasons that are given in the Bible and say, like, okay, I've read what the Bible says, like why he did this, and I'm saying that's a bad reason. But then the apologist response, oh, but you see, the Bible says he has a reason. It's like, yeah, thanks for catching up.
Any agent has a reason. Anybody who does anything, you can say has a reason to do what they do, whether it's biological or emotional or psychological or whatever. It's that stupid word "good" that they try to throw in there. Like, it's a good reason. Well, you have no basis to say he ever makes a bad choice or a bad reason. Like, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, it gives me all the headaches. But all right. Well, I guess since we're done with that point, on to the next.
6. The God of the Bible is jealous of other gods. This proves that this God is not the only God. With multiple choices, only shows that there is no reason to choose just one. If a God were true, there would be no other options.
Yeah, again.
This is a good point. Okay.
Yes, hello, Earthlings. That is a good point.
How dare you assume my habitat? I'm from Mars.
Yeah. How dare you assume my planet of origin? Also, speaking of the term Earthlings, Dr. Kip, I was just watching your video today with Misinterpretations, where you're being interviewed on her channel. Also, like, she's a subscriber to the channel, one of our new ones. So thanks, Misinterpretations, if you're watching now or later. Or you were talking about the term, or I guess the name, Adam or Ha-Adam in the Genesis creation story, and how that wasn't really a name. It was like Ha-Satan was like a title, but basically meant like earthling or earth creature or something like that. So that reminded me of that. So yeah,
it's like a pun, kind of.
Yeah. Hey, well, yeah, she is late, and I appreciate Spooky Bed Hair saying no worries, but hey,
We were worried.
plenty of worries on my end.
Yeah.
So, I'm kidding. No. It's like, don't speak for me, Spooky Bed Hair. No, you're fine. I just can't help being a dick. That's what I do. All right. So this argument about how the Bible says God is jealous of other gods. Again, I really hate that he's using this as arguments. This is why God doesn't exist. Where like in this, he's literally all he's saying is this proves that he's not the only God. Which
That doesn't disprove a god.
yeah,
It actually
Yeah.
does the opposite. It's kind of showing that there's many gods. So bad question by the atheists on that side. But
yeah,
it is a
Which-
good question for the monotheists.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, like I said, this is one of those instances where there is a good point in here. Just the problem is how it's being presented and then misunderstood on Mr. B's and it's yeah. Let's.
Do you know?
Apparently underlings because that's better.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you know about like henotheism?
I do. Yeah, where or monolatry, or it's like they. Because that's something. And Dr. Kip, if you're still out there, or if you dozed off again,
He dozed off probably.
see, I feel like now, like whenever he actually dozes off, I feel like I need to play this again. So
If you aren't subscribed to the Humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah. I wondered where you went.
we're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
So yeah. I'm just excited that I made a thing and uploaded it to my little clips thing. So I'm yeah. Oh, and spank you. Unless I was gonna say not. I mean, unless you want. Hey, I'm here to please. Spooky Bed Hair, thank you for posting our link on the stream and Missing Mods Discord. Always appreciate a share. So thank you so much.
So yeah, the henotheism angle is just that many gods do exist, but there's one god who's like kind of the father or big daddy, the silverback gorilla of all the other gods, and that's what
right.
Israel believes in, is the big daddy god of many gods. And I tend to believe that that is the accurate reading of the Bible. Like Michael Heiser has done a lot of work on this, or had done. He's passed away by now, but very interesting stuff. Kip probably is on this side too, I guess, because he reads the book right.
Yeah, and I believe I've heard him make reference to that. Same, like also Dr. Josh, and yeah, pretty much like anyone I've heard talk about the Old Testament or the Hebrew Bible who actually knew what they were talking about. Even other Christians like Peter Enns, like admits this. He's like, yeah, parts of the Hebrew Bible seem to assume that there are multiple gods, but you just are supposed to worship the one. So
yeah, there's even weird stuff about it, like that they're tied to the dirt itself, like the land. The table of nations. The table of nations says that each portion was given to the sons of God. So, like Yahweh is one of the sons of God. El is the father. Somewhere along the line, they got conflated, where El became Yahweh. But originally, Yahweh, his portion was Israel, and Baal was this land, and Kamash was this one, and they all had their own little territories, like mascots. And their power was linked to the land, because
exactly
one of the prophets or one of the somebody had to bring a bunch of dirt from one place to another.
Yeah, I was about to mention that. I think that was Elisha, like bringing it. I mean, this probably happened several times, but the one I'm thinking of, I seem to remember like Elisha having to bring it to like Naaman or something, or Naaman requested it, or yes, at some point where it was like, oh, we have to bring some dirt from the Holy Land to this person because he wants to worship Yahweh, but he needs the land to do it. Yeah, it's so in the Bible. It's right there.
It's right there if you ever choose to read it, chat.
So, yes. All right. So yeah, let's see what Timmy has to say.
Exodus 34:14. As a teacher who has given thousands of multiple choice tests over the years, I can say with some authority that multiple choices does not mean that there's no reason to choose just one. There are false answers.
But again, missing the point that if you're claiming that your Bible claims there is one God, but your Bible actually doesn't claim that and claims the opposite, then that is an argument against the God you believe in. Now, it's not an argument against the God of the Bible to say that there are other gods because the Bible says there are other gods, but Timmy Boy here and most Christians would argue that nope, it's just the one God and there aren't any, and the Bible doesn't say there are any other ones. And like, okay, that's an argument against your position.
It's so weird with the phrasing. You'll notice that he snuck in the word true. Who is the one God would be the question, but like the one true God. It's such a weird question because it'd be like me asking you, who is the one true human? Like they're all true, they're all real human beings, but who is the one true human? It's so ridiculous.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, because again, that's the point of henotheism or monolatry, is like saying, okay, yeah, there's a bunch of other gods, but there's only one true one. The other gods still exist, but
it's just be who's the boss god, who's the one boss god,
right? Oh, so maybe it's Tony Danza is the one true human.
That's a good answer.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza. Sorry. My daughter was talking about the song Tiny Dancer earlier today, and that got stuck in my head. All right.
It's good.
Just like there are false gods. Another non sequitur.
False.
Number 7.
Pause,
There's no evidence that spiritual energy.
Pause. He snuck in the word false. That's annoying as all get up. He snuck in that word false. Who's the one true God? The other ones are false gods. No, there's not a false human. Unless we're talking about like some kind of transhuman AI type of thing, like a robot.
Yeah, and again, it depends. Yeah, and it also depends. I guess it also depends, like what he means by true or false God. So if he means by false God meaning a God that doesn't exist and it's false in that sense, then okay. But again, the way the Bible is talking about it, when it says the true God and false gods, it's not saying the false gods don't exist. It's saying like, well, they're not the ones you should be worshiping.
And I don't even think the original question that the guy asked was talking about true or false gods. He was just saying these other gods exist. So he was talking about existence, not power or authority or any other thing. He's just saying existence.
Right. And crucially, they exist according to the Bible. So the sacred text of this God who you claim to believe in and who you claim is the only God. It's like, well, your book says otherwise, so.
Oh, missing mod.
I think the Bible is flawless, personally. But even if the Bible had a mistake, it's better in one book than all of science collectively. Well, oh yeah, okay, all of science collectively, as in like every bit of science that has ever been written. Sure, there's a lot of mistakes, but that's because old science has been corrected by better science. So
yeah, kind of like how the Book of Mormon corrected the New Testament,
right? And then, whatever the hell Scientology is, corrected everything. So yeah.
Don't mind missing mod. She just has like a hard on for Darwin. She just hates that guy.
Let's see. Oh, and cafe, like I'm hoping. Well, I'm definitely mispronouncing it because I pronounce it more than one way. But I'm hoping that this is what I think a reference to Majora's Mask, one of my favorite video games of all time, says, Missing Mod, I agree. I think people talk about contradictions in the Bible often are reading into the text. They're performing some sort of eisegesis. Every accusation is a confession.
It's coffee, by the way. It's just coffee. That's how he says it.
Gotcha. All right. Well, back to reading into things.
Another non sequitur. Proof number 7. There is no evidence that spiritual energy exists, so we can conclude that psychics, ghosts, and gods are non-existent. Otherwise, God has nothing to be made of. Not this again.
again, that's not.
Oh no! Wah, wah.
Again, like that's not. So this gets in the whole like, is absence of evidence evidence of absence? So I mean, again, given the nature of this particular form of spiritual energy we're that's being proposed, like yes, if there is no evidence of it, that is kind of evidence against it based on what's claimed. Oh, kafi, or if you don't mind, cafe. All right, cool. So
I just like
kafi.
coffee. I knew it wasn't coffee.
That's good too.
I was doing it anyway.
See, that's the fun. That's the fun thing. Like with English, it's so fucked up. Like you can pronounce anything any way you want. Like I remember once, like me and a friend of mine, we were trying to figure out how, like if we could like take the word silly. I don't remember why we chose that word, but just take the word silly and add as many letters as possible to have it still pronounced silly. And I think we got it close to like 10 letters long with like silent P's and silent H's and like extra Y's and E's at the end. And yeah, it was.
It's a very autistic thing to do.
Thank you. And this is before I knew, but how did I not know?
There was always clues.
Right? I was there the whole time, but I missed it because I was hyper focused on something else. That's the ADHD for you. So.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway,
coffee
no.
is the best part of waking up. That's coffee for you.
Good to the last drop.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So yeah. So again, this whole like, well, there's no evidence that spiritual energy exists, therefore it doesn't. Again, like that doesn't quite follow because again, there's so many things like, well, if you can't, just because there's no evidence doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But again, given the nature of this God that they're proposing, you think there would be more evidence than there is. But let's see what his particular frustration with this is. Unless you had anything else to add before we heard from Mr. B.
I don't know. When I first thought about it, I was thinking like Platonic forms and how they talk about how you have to have something of substance to even make a thing. So to announce that God is a noun, a person, place, or thing, he has to actually be made of something. They're just assuming spiritual energy when all physical beings would be made of matter and energy.
Gotcha.
But I kind of get what he's coming from here. He's like, they're positing a third concept on top of physical matter and energy. And he's saying, since that doesn't exist, we have nothing to form God or ghosts or anything out of. But that was my interpretation.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. But also, did you notice how, like, when you said Platonic forms, I went, as if I knew what you were talking about? Did I convince you?
You got me there. It's ancient BS. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, it's on my end. It's masking and personality mirroring, and just basically like from my whole life of being autistic and not noticing, I'm just used to like I feel like I should act like I know what's going on right now. Maybe I'm very good at pretending. But yeah, I've heard the term Platonic forms. Couldn't tell you what it actually is, but your explanation of it, okay, that makes sense.
It's going into substance dualism, where they think spirits are another type of energy or form that makes forms like ghosts and stuff like that. It goes back to like Greek philosophy.
Yeah, Kefi, I think that's what you said. Yeah, just because you cannot prove spiritual energy exists doesn't necessarily follow that anything associated with it is automatically non-existent. Who wrote this shit? Some high schooler? Yeah, like I said from the beginning, like I am by no means like a fan or trying to completely defend like how Brian Doyle, I think his name is, how he worded all this and put it together. But I think Mr. B here, like his responses are kind of like missing, even if they're not good arguments for what he's trying to present them as, there are still good points in here that Mr. B is just missing. So
yeah. Nailed it,
right.
Cafe. Nailed it. Got me.
Got him. All right. All right. So, but let's see what Mr. B has to say. Unless you had anything else
No, I'm just throwing peanuts back at the gallery.
I appreciate that. All right.
Otherwise, God has nothing to be made of. Not this again. An immaterial being, by definition, is not made of material. I'm not going too quickly here, am I? God is not made of anything. God is spirit. God is spirit, but he's not made of spiritual energy. He's
Spirit is a substance. You're suggesting that there's a substance that's not material.
Yeah, and also, I guess I wasn't making the assumption that spiritual energy was material.
These are all made up terms.
Yeah.
Spiritual is made up.
Right.
Spiritual energy is made up. Ectoplasm is made up. Everything from fucking Ghostbusters
Right.
is made up.
So I again missing the point. I think whatever spiritual energy is, whether it's material or immaterial, like whatever it is, we haven't shown that it exists. So it has nothing to do with whether or not it's material. What matters is it's a thing that we don't know exists. I think that's really the main point.
And to get on your tailcoat or your whatever coattails.
Coattails.
Yeah. Spiritual, the spirit has been as proved as spiritual energy. They're both been proved the same, which is none at all.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, and my condolences, Spooky Bed here. I was brought up Catholic, and from what I've heard people tell me, like when I've like shared my story and my background and experience, apparently there's some similarities because there's a question I've got a couple times or a remark, like when I tell people about my past, but don't tell them specifically what type of Christianity. Several people have told me it's like sounds like you were either Catholic or Baptist. So definitely Baptist. Yeah, we thought all you Catholicism types were going straight to hell.
Satan.
So worshiping Mary and all that
beast
nonsense.
System. Yeah.
Right. All right.
material. So this is a straw man. But Doyle might also be begging the question.
Okay, did it bother anyone else like how he
straw man?
Straw man. Like, no, it's straw man.
Straw man.
It's a straw man. Yeah. That reminds me of like speaking of my Baptist upbringing, my youth pastor said ice cream, like ice cream. Like he emphasized the cream, and like that always bugged the hell out of me before I was allowed to say bug the hell out of me.
You should go around saying iced cream. Like throw the D on the end. Who would like some iced cream? Because it technically works, but it's so off.
I know. Kind of like me. I technically work, but I'm so off as well. So, all right. Where were we?
By assuming materialism, that matter and energy are all that exist. Proof number 8.
Again, I don't know what materialist believes in spiritual energy as a part of a materialist paradigm.
Well, technically, if a materialist only believed in energy and matter, then spiritual energy would be a type of energy, and they would probably believe in that too.
I guess, but they usually, again, in my experience, they don't usually talk about spiritual energy. They're just like, no, just energy, like the kind we have.
Yeah, the kind we can demonstrate and know that's real.
Right?
This is so frustrating because this is the twist that's been made in the last decade or so, is that we have an anti-supernatural bias. We're the bigots towards supernaturalism because we have that anti-bias. When we all, supernaturalists included, can agree that the natural world exists, they're the one positing something on top of that, which means they have the positive claim to demonstrate something on top of that. We will meet them in the middle when it comes to the material world existing and be like, yeah, do you think trees exist? Me too. Cool. And then they say, well, what about a spiritual tree? And then we'll be like, well, I don't know about that. You're going to have to demonstrate a spiritual tree to me. Like,
right.
We're not the ones with an anti-supernatural bias. It's such a weird way to frame it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's totally lost my train of thought. I had a good point, damn it. So yeah, anti-spiritual bias, anti-supernatural bias, things we can prove.
We agree on natural world.
Yeah. Totally lost it. But
it would be like if we both looked at the beach and we said, this beach is full of sand. You say, no, there's buried treasure there too. And I would say, I don't believe you. You're the one making the claim that there's buried treasure in the beach. Now demonstrate the buried treasure to me, when we both can look at the beach and agree that the beach is there.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. I remembered what I was going to say, but at the risk of forgetting again, I just wanted to call out this comment. Yeah. Christianity needs some more cool Christians. Okay. First of all, big self-own there saying you're not cool.
I would say it needs
also,
come on. Cool Christian. One cool Christian.
Come on.
One.
You have Wes Huff. What more do you need? Right?
Well, that's true. He is buff. He's the buff stuff.
But anyway, so when it comes to like having yes, I have. It's not. I guess it's not so much I have a bias against things that you can't prove, because I'll fully admit there are plenty of things that exist that can't be proven, or at least haven't been proven yet, or can't be proven yet, but eventually might be. But yeah, I'm not saying those things don't exist. For me, it's like I have a bias against basing my life upon its existence when we can't prove it exists or not. That was really the big thing, like with one of the big things with me, like becoming an atheist and walking away from God. It's like, okay, especially because I came off of like surviving stage 4 cancer, and I was just trying to refigure everything out and trying to, okay, what is my life going to be now? Like, what am I going to base it on? It's like, well, I'm done basing it on things that no one can prove to me, that I can't actually know for sure exists. It may be out there somewhere, but if it wants me to know, it'll let me know. But when it comes to how I'm going to live my life and what I'm going to base it on, I'm going to save it for things that I can actually know to be true. So that's my bias, if you want to.
Well, that's a good point. I know a few different deists, and who cares about deism? Boo deism. They just think like, well, okay, I have an intuition that something created this, but they don't sit there and push it on you like, now here's all the rules for life too, because they live their life the same way an atheist live their life. They just think something created stuff.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Which again, like, I mean, even like, hardcore atheist leaders like Richard Dawkins, he's like, yeah, there could be some sort of like deist or like Spinoza's God or whatever they call it. Like, he's like, yeah, there could be something like that out there, but I kind of don't care. If he doesn't care enough to, he or she or they or whoever.
Yeah. Will you humor me in a short thought experiment?
Go.
So, I don't know how philosophical you get with Christians, but they hate infinite regress. They'll also they'll always say like, oh, you can't have an eternal universe because that's going to make an infinite regress, and infinite regresses are illogical, blah 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 blah. And so I don't think they are personally, but I know that they hate them. I think whenever anybody posits an external realm to the natural realm, like the supernatural realm, they are setting the first domino in an infinite regress. Because if they say, well, God is supernatural and we're all, I'm just going to posit, well, my God is super duper natural. And he created the supernatural realm, which created the natural realm. And then you're just going to start the chain of infinite regress that they hate so much, because you're positing realms on top of realms on top of realms.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So, so if I'm understanding you correctly, it's like they, again, lost my mind. So it's almost like there is still the possibility there of an infinite regress. They're just assuming it stops somewhere.
Yeah, they're setting the first domino in it. As if we just say that me and you would agree that we're naturalists or materialists or whatever. This is everything there is. Then we have stopped the infinite regress because we have just had a set size of 1.
Right. Also, real quick, how's it going, Fox?
What up, Foxy?
Good to see you. But yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry, say the last thing you said again.
That whenever
Fox distracted me.
if we agree on the natural realm being all that exists, we don't have a possibility of setting an infinite regress. But once you posit one realm beyond that, you have the first domino in a possible infinite regress, because we don't have any determining factors to demonstrate that the realm beyond our realm exists, which would work for a realm beyond a realm, a realm beyond a realm, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Yeah. So they're positing this spiritual realm to ostensibly stop the infinite regress, but the thing is, it's so unknown, we don't know that it actually does stop the infinite regress. There could be, like you said, there could be more behind it.
The more natural, the naturalistic version of this would be the multiverse hypothesis. Right. If the universe, uni mean one, is the only universe, then that's it. But you start positing a universe, and then you're going to have so many different multiverses that you have an infinite potential amount of universes. That works the same with spiritual realms.
Exactly. But as far as the universe and the more naturalist, and when it comes to like terms like naturalist, materialist, all the like physicalist is another one here. Like I prefer the term naturalist. Again, not that I could necessarily define all these terms, but like one of the reasons I shy away from things like physicalist or materialist is just because I've first of all, because also I guess materialist can also mean other things when it comes to like moral philosophy as well. So that can get kind of hairy. But even like other naturalists basically means like I just don't believe in a supernatural. I think anything exists, whether it's material or not. Like I'm not claiming that everything that exists is necessarily material or physical, but I'm saying whatever it is, it's just a part of nature. And I don't think there's any sort of like supernatural, especially some sort of like intelligent supernatural, like purpose giving like entity behind it. So I guess really at core, you might just call me like a nihilist, maybe. I don't know, but
well, nihilism would be like a moral philosophy, but yeah.
Like I said, I'm only like very surface level familiar with a lot of these terms. I just kind of throw them out. But
if you want to get down with more philosophy, watch my streams whenever I have them. But also Breakfast Tacos is one of my good buddies. Go check him out, and he's always wrestling the different philosophical takes. So.
Yeah, actually, I haven't watched your most recent stream, but Matt, my people don't know, my usual co-host, who's on vacation right now, he messaged me earlier saying he watched your latest stream, and he was saying like it was really good, especially when it comes to breaking down like terms and getting like real deep into like the intellectual weeds with stuff. So I will definitely have to check that out.
My last one was important. It was more psychological than philosophical, but it's because me and you have that in common with our mental. What's neurodivergent is the proper term. Mine was my actual last step in my deconversion though. So I'm bipolar. You're autistic. Hey, what do you get when you get a bipolar and autistic guy together? The humanity show.
Throw in a little ADHD and the streams last for hours. So. Yeah. But speaking of like the stream and like because people are familiar with our format, even though we're still technically on the like first drink segment, like I finished my first drink, so I'm on to second. Good old Stone IPA. So yeah, again in the chat, if anyone out there is enjoying a beverage, let us know.
Throw it in the chat. I'm actually on drink. I've already almost done my drink 2 already, so that's why I'm probably getting a little more loose with my lips. But I'm drinking a Voodoo Ranger Tropic Force IPA.
Ooh, love a good Voodoo Ranger.
9.5.
Ooh, nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found like maybe it's just because I'm getting older, but like I really can't do much of like the heavier stuff, or if I do, like it's like one and done. But. So I found like if I want to have multiple, I got to go with which. I mean, it's not like Stone IPA is like a light beer by any means, but like it's only 6.9. Yeah, a nice percentage.
No IPAs are really light. IPAs are usually the heavier ones.
Yeah,
but I'm so cheap that I usually have to buy the 9.5s because I'm like I ain't gonna spend money and drink fucking 3 beers when I only have to drink 2.
Yeah. But yes. B.S. Lewis does have a channel. I knew. What? Yeah. Did you know you had a channel?
I'm shocked as you are to hear this news.
I am shocked. Shocked.
Yeah. Sometimes
yeah.
I'll let Missing Mod use my channel to have her channel because she doesn't have a channel all the time. But
Spontaneous channel. Yeah.
mhm.
Nice.
Let's say,
Is it usually pretty good like ours is? So.
I think you guys do a lot better because you have the shout out from Kip Davis. I've never gotten one of those yet. So
Ooh, man.
yeah, he doesn't promo my crap, Kip.
If he's still out there, or if he's asleep again.
He dozed off again.
Don't make me play the clip again, Kip. I'll start calling you Dr. Clip like Nitty was. Anyway.
All right, let's see what they have to say.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking of people with channels, apparently this Mr. B has a little something going on here. So
There is no such thing as nothing. For nothing to exist.
Huh? Nothing to exist?
Would cause it to be something. Creationists believe that God created the universe out of literal nothing. This is an equivocation.
I'm so mad. I'm so angry. Go ahead, you first, because I'm going to take a while on my rant.
yeah, so where he said for nothing to exist, and he like paused on that and like made this whole big show about how that doesn't make sense. But if you finish his sentence, he's saying just that. Like, yes, that's his point. Like, for nothing exists would cause it to be something. So yes, he's making the point that that doesn't make sense. So for him to go that whole, huh? What does that mean? It's like, finish the fucking sentence, dude. Like,
okay. I'm taking deep breaths here. My eternal frustration with this specific topic is the conflation of terms on the word exist. They will often conflate, like, do you know what idealists are?
I know some, actually. Yes.
Yes, idealists, for the chat who doesn't know, are people that think that matter comes from mind. Whereas us materialists, or whatever the word we choose to use, we believe that mind comes from matter. So it's an emergent property of chemistry, et cetera, et cetera. What we can really demonstrate. But because theists believe in a creator God, they're forced to believe in an idealistic framework where mind gives birth to matter. That's why creation ex nihilo was a thing, and God spoke matter into existence out of nothing. But the word exist, when it comes to these idealist people, they'll say concepts exist, and this happens in the precept realm a lot. Like, Tommy, do you believe that math exists? Do you believe that logic exists? Do you have a mind that exists? And they'll say the word exist for conceptual things. What I always do whenever they start doing that, I say, do hallucinations exist? And then they'll start to back it up in a way where they say, like, well, the process in your mind that leads to the hallucination exists. I'm like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, does the actual object that you are hallucinating exist? Because that's the concept. No one else can see it.
Yeah.
No one else can hear it. But I'm asking you as an idealist, does that exist?
Right.
So to get around this specific issue that arises with conflation of terms and the confusion it causes, I define exist as it occupies space and time. The mind does not occupy space and time. Math does not occupy space and time. Concepts do not occupy space and time. Hallucinations do not occupy space and time. Therefore, they do not exist. What's your thoughts?
Or another way I've heard the distinction made is there's a difference between something existing and something having existence. So I guess in that framework, you would say, like, okay, concepts and like math or whatever exist, but they don't have existence, like the way something that does occupy space and time would. Does that make sense?
I would still push back on that, because if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile on this. I've dealt with enough precepts that they're gonna, if you even grant that, like, they'll make fun of you if you say the mind doesn't exist until you clarify what you think the mind is. And when I would say, well, what is the mind? I'd say the mind isn't a noun. It's not a person, place, or thing. It's a process. It's a verb. It's what your brain, which is a noun, does. It consists of memory. It consists of cognition. It consists of spatial recognition, problem solving, all the stuff that we attribute to a mind. These aren't actual nouns. These aren't things that exist. These are processes that existing things do. They're verbs. The language game, the semantics here. It's very important. I know this seems like I'm harping on a really minute detail that's annoying, but like I said, you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. And then they'll try to make you look stupid for saying, "Well, Tommy says he doesn't think he has a mind. What a fucking idiot, dude!" And then you'll lose the debate.
Yeah. Well, I guess the way I would word it, I would say like again with that whole like dichotomy of things existing versus having existence. Like I guess in that framework, I would say my mind exists. I would say concepts exist. I just say, but they don't have existence the same way like I do or other things in space time do. But yeah, but I find like the problem with the way like people, whether they're like idealists or this might also involve like panpsychists, but basically anyone who thinks like mind or consciousness is the fundamental thing, and then like matter and material arises from that, as opposed to the other way around, like kind of how like you are, probably where I am as well. Like so, it's a lot like God of the Gaps style argumentation. It's like, well, you can't explain where concepts or minds or thoughts or ideas or math comes from, so therefore it's this thing that I say it is. It's like, no, all we've really established is we don't really, at least for me, like all I'm saying is, I don't know what thoughts are. I don't know what mind really is. I don't know what concepts and ideas or whatever really is. But because I don't think we necessarily really do. But then they're saying like, well, because we don't understand it, therefore it's this thing that I says.
I would still push back on this differentiation that you're making between existence and exist. Existence would just be that would be the verb to say like that's the past tense or the present tense of existing.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm not saying that's necessarily a concept I'm like married to by any means. It's just the way I've heard it explained that kind of made sense to me. So, but yeah,
and this is just me being ADD on philosophy, because I've had a lot of these conversations.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
It all comes down to the terms you use and how you word them, and you have to use the specific term in the right situation. TMM, the Messianic. I forgot his fucking name. I always forget his name. Do you know who TMM is? He's a pretty popular YouTuber.
I've seen some of his videos pop up on my feed, but I don't think I've actually watched any of his stuff yet.
Smart as a whip. But he will be really rigid in his definitions like this, like I am, and he's taught me to be. Because if you define exist as occupying space and time, when they start coming to you with God is spaceless and timeless, by definition, he doesn't exist. Because he doesn't occupy space and time. And if you want to push him in a corner and say, well, is your God a concept? I won't push back on that. I'll be like, I think that God does exist as a concept in all the believers' minds. It's not the same. It's not the same concept. And I have no problem like granting that in a debate, being like, sure, yeah, your God exists in your brain as a concept, but he didn't create the world because your brain didn't create the world, you idiot. Like, so
no. Now this may be a consequence. Like, I don't know if I'm necessarily. This could be either I'm not explaining myself well enough, or I'm maybe misunderstanding you. But like, what you're saying is like pushback to what I was saying. I'm actually agreeing with. So
yeah, I'm only agreeing in the sense that you're using the words. You're using exist and existence in different ways, where I would use them in the same way, just as different past and present tenses, kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
But I'm not the expert on language here. You know, I'm just a guy with some thoughts.
Yeah, well, it's certainly not me, so I'm not that expert either. So, All right. Well, let's finish up Timmy Boy here because we do have another video to get to. It's a longer one, but I'm actually not sure how much of it I actually want to watch. I guess we'll find out. But all right. Coughing. All right.
Of the word nothing. By nothing, we mean no thing. That is, God didn't make the universe out of anything. We certainly do not believe that God created the universe out of something that's called nothing. So there's no thing here that disproves God. See what I did there? Proof number 9.
His proofs are so fast, and his what's the word, hubris is so large that he thinks that he's going to drop in like a 2-sentence answer and be like, checkmate atheist, logical fallacy, you're an idiot. But he's actually like circling the drain on very dense and like philosophically rich topics that people have argued for thousands of years.
Right. Yeah. For real.
To talk about no thing and nothing, like, you ever heard a lot of Christians come about Lawrence Krauss and say, well, here he is. He wrote a book about making a universe from nothing. This is the conflation of terms. Like, he didn't mean nothing. Nothing, if you talk about space as nothing, space is something because it still is able to transmit energy through it. It's a substrate. It's not nothing.
Right. Or I could, or like in like colloquial sense, I could say, well, I have nothing in my hand, but like really there's like all kinds of stuff floating around and I can't see that's like actually is in my hand. Yeah.
A lot of these are just philosophical word games. For as much as I know about philosophy, I've learned to hate philosophy so freaking much, dude. This is like the question of, does a whole exist? And be like, the concept of a whole exists, but there is no matter for a whole to exist, so I don't know if holes exist. And then you get all freaking lost in the weeds, and like, this is stuff you would talk about if you're all stoned with your buddies on a Friday night, and you're like, bro, I think I just broke the universe, holes don't exist. Like,
yeah, which is one of those reasons I wish I could get stoned, but something I've talked about before. Like, I've tried weed multiple occasions, only ever got it. Well, it wasn't even necessarily weed. It was like some gummies that had a small amount of THC combined with a little beer and got me high like once. But I've tried so many times, just can't get the stuff to work. So I have like the worst superpower ever. So
that's like Wolverine, how his healing factor prevents him from getting drunk, so he just drinks all the time.
Right. See, I wish I had that, but unfortunately I don't have that part.
His liver just keeps healing itself.
Oh man, if only. That would get expensive though.
Can you highlight Maud's last one, because she's a dirty Christian girl? Like, what a dirty Christian.
I mean, it's in the Bible,
you know. But she won't agree with that for gay guys, because technically there is a hole for gay guys too. Right, and God put a G-spot in there. So what a perv.
Hey, whatever gets you going. So, all right. So, yeah, I'll admit, like, right.
My bad, Maud. That's where it shows where my mind is going.
I don't think she meant golf. Anyway, so yeah, so with the 0.8 here, like, yeah, I guess I don't really have much to add because I was having trouble keeping up with a lot of it. So anyway, we'll move on to number 9, because this is one, from what I remember, I can relate to a little too much.
This isn't a finely tuned world created with us in mind. The sun gives you cancer, most of the water is undrinkable, and diseases run rampant. If there was an intelligent designer, there wouldn't be any mistakes. First,
fine-tuning.
Yeah. As far as like the sun giving you cancer, can fucking confirm, almost killed me about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But again, like, this is... What's that?
Oh, I said we have evidence right here on stream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could pull up some different like PET scan and MRI results and show you some scary shit. But including a tumor in my heart that was. I think the tumor itself was around a centimeter across, but then on top of that was slightly larger blood clot. But anyway,
Well, did you have a priest reconfirm that it wasn't a demon? I mean,
I
you have
did
to
not. I mean,
cover all your bases.
I was at a Catholic hospital, so I assume they would have had someone take a look at that. But yeah, I'll ask my oncologist in my next appointment. But
I'm sure he'll verify it for sure.
fuck. So again, this isn't necessarily a proof of no God. But it is a good argument against fine tuning. Because I think, especially in the case of, because this is what when I've presented this idea like to other Christians before, saying like, it doesn't seem like very fine tuned that like the sun, like the source of light, one of the main reasons that life even exists on the planet, also kills us in a lot of cases because of like the UV radiation. It's like, why is that a thing? And someone said, oh, well, see, the thing is the earth came with protections for that, like the ozone layer and thing. But like we as humans just like destroyed that stuff. So now it's more of a problem. So it's like, oh, see, that's the fine tuning that God put these protections in place. But what I love to bring up is like, okay, if you're telling me that the earth is finely tuned by this God who loves us and cares for us because he put all these protections in place around the earth that protect us from all these dangerous things in space. Well, my question is, okay, who put all these dangerous things in space?
Satan.
I mean, that's like me throwing a dinner party and like poisoning all the food and then giving all the guests an antidote and saying, aren't I such a wonderful, benevolent host, and that I finally tuned this antidote for this poison that I also gave you and designed.
Yeah. You gave them life sustaining food, so you should get the credit for being good, right?
Right? Because I'm apparently all powerful and omniscient and like a wonderful designer, except I couldn't figure out a way to design things without killing people. Like this was an argument Dinesh D'Souza has given in debates when people talk about like natural disasters like earthquakes and how many people they kill. He's like, well, did you know that earthquakes happen because of plate tectonics? And don't you know that life actually couldn't exist on Earth without plate tectonics? So what you're telling me is God couldn't figure out a way to make life without something that also makes earthquakes and kills life.
He couldn't make life thrive without making life decline at the same time.
Right. Or as a clip that one of my other favorite channels, Godless Granny, plays a lot. It's like, your God's lack of problem-solving skills disturbs me. Or I find your God's lack of problem-solving skills disturbing, like with the like Darth Vader voice thing. Anyway, I totally butchered that, but
I get the
point
reference.
taken. Point taken. I assume. Yeah, it's. Or there's also the argument against fine tuning that says like just the fact that the universe had to be fine tuned, like why make life so fragile that the universe needed to be a certain way? But
Matt the human is in chat, and I don't see you typing.
Hey. How's it going, Matt? This is my co-host, Matt, who's usually here. But yeah, Satan, the Lord of the Earth, and the ouchie bits in space. See, the Bible didn't mention the ouchie bits part. Is that in the Apocrypha? Someone who's Catholic, please confirm.
Now I am. I'm confused.
Like new theory just dropped. Theory of ouchie bits. Thank you, Mod. Can I use that? I'm going to use that now, whether you like it or not. So, and also, Matt, if you have enough privacy, feel free to jump on if you can, or if you feel like it. But
hurry up before I take your job, Matt.
Yeah, it's like I kind of like not being able to see the person I'm talking to. I'm kidding. Oh, but speaking of the link in chat, I'll go ahead and throw it out there again. Not that BS isn't enough, but if there's anyone else out there who would like to join in as well, it can be a party.
Party it
Yeah.
up.
So I'm assuming BS is fine with more of a cohort if they so choose. So
I'm hoping that Kip shows up, but
yeah, somebody wake. If anyone's in the Vancouver area, please wake up Kip, and I would love to have him on sometime. But yeah, so yeah, the whole fine tuning thing, like, I mean, I think all this stuff is a pretty good, again, argument against this specific God that most Christians are proposing. So I don't know if you had any more on that now before we see what else Timmy has to say about it, or
I won't. Fine tuning, there's so many different rebuttals to fine tuning. So I'll just choose my favorite one, is that they're proposing an all-powerful God. An all-powerful God can create life in a black hole. It can create life at the bottom of the ocean. It can create life on the sun. And so proposing that type of ontological being defeats fine-tuning in itself, because it's suggesting that life is only able to be sustained within a very small Goldilocks zone.
right?
And your God needs to meet the conditions of an exterior Goldilocks zone, frame of reference for life to exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's if you would think that a universe that was designed for life would not have so many restrictions on life being possible. Like the way I like to put it, if you look at the universe as a whole, if it seems fine-tuned for anything, it seems fine-tuned for vacuum and explosions. Like, because that's, or even if you just take the Earth, because like again, the people who wrote the Bible, or not just the Bible, but who originally came up with the vast majority, if not all of the world's religions, well, not all obviously, but most of them, like when these religions were invented, they had no concept of what like the universe actually was. Like and understandably so. I'm not knocking them, and it's just they're like limited knowledge that we had because we just hadn't explored as much. But like to them, like the Earth, what we can see around us, like that was the world. So life was a lot more prominent, at least as far as they could see. So it does seem like this was a main point of things existing. But even on this Earth, like if you say for anything, like, okay, the Earth seems more fine-tuned for like salt water and cockroaches, like not humans.
Yes. And that's another point, is that they're focusing on human life when
right.
There's creatures like cockroaches and tardigrades that are more resilient than us when it comes to surviving.
Yeah. And I feel like we should, and Matt, let me know if you agree, who apparently, no privacy now that the mosquitoes are out. Probably can't jump on video without offending the sensitive sensibilities of the Christians in the house. Understood and appreciated. I mean, this is why, like, for people who know, like, I had been doing like regular videos on Sunday mornings, but I'm switching it to every other week, partially because I keep finding myself either like visiting my family or like when my kids are around. And my kids also, for those who don't know, they're still Christian. Like, and not that like if they heard me recording a video, they'd probably be fine with it. I just don't want to get into all that with them anyway. But yeah, with as far as the Earth being fine tuning like for life, man, I feel. Yeah, Matt, let me know if this is something you're interested in. I feel like we could do an entire episode or multiple episodes on this because I have so many things like to say about it. Just like, first of all, like saying like, well, the Earth has like, okay, just granting that the Earth seems fine-tuned for life. Like, I don't grant that, but sure, for the sake of argument. Okay, but so saying that like the Earth being suitable for life requires some special explanation. Like, well, you're assuming that life is some special thing that needs a special explanation. But like, no one talks about how like Venus is fine-tuned for poisonous gas. Because as humans, we don't value poisonous gas. So we don't see that as something that needs a specific explanation. But the conditions on Venus needed to be just as finely tuned for being covered with poisonous gas, because those gases can only exist in those certain circumstances that Venus finds itself in, the same way that the Earth had to be a certain way for life to exist on it.
That's a good point. You know who Braxton
So,
Hunter? Braxton Hunter is?
Yes.
He did 5 questions for Christians not too long ago, where one of his questions were, if you stumble upon Mars and you see like a biodome that's
Yes. Oh, you mean 5 questions for atheists?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And then
I know we did one of his videos about that. I don't know if we did that one, but yeah.
my automatic thought is like, oh, wouldn't you think that the biodome was engineered by an intelligent being for life? And then I'd be like, well, can I look at the rest of Mars and say that it's not intelligently designed by a fucking a being for life, like who's concerned about life?
Yeah, I mean, it's essentially a different version of the watchmaker argument, but basically, one. Yeah, right. But like with the watchmaker argument, it's like, well, if you find a watch on a beach, you assume it was designed. Okay, but that's assuming that everything around the watch does not look designed. So it's basically admitting that like the rest of nature doesn't.
Designed. Everything is designed. That's the other point for fine tuning I use.
Yeah. All right, so Matt's down for it. So, well, not next week, because next week, and more on this later, as we announced last week, are having I was about to say good buddy, but this will actually be the first time I've actually talked to him. Kyle Butler will be on, mostly because he's someone I would like to get to know. So we'll talk more about that later. But anyway, yeah, so not next week, but maybe future week. Yeah, look for the fine tuning discussion for us to have. I'm looking forward to it. So, but yeah, all right. Anything else on that before we hear what else Tim has to say?
I will be in the audience throwing tomatoes at you guys because that's what I do.
Wouldn't have it any other way. So, all right, unless you're on stream throwing tomatoes at us. So, all right.
Just because you can't drink the ocean or antifreeze doesn't mean they're not designed. They're just designed for another purpose. Second, something doesn't have...
So not designed for human life. So he's admitting there are large portions of the Earth that are not designed and fine-tuned for people. Okay, this is great. I'm glad to see Tim coming around.
This proves the point that we just said. Like, in his worldview, everything is designed. So if it's not designed for life, it's designed for not life.
Yeah. So
this doesn't prove design because you're coming with a presupposition that everything's designed. This is not a proof. Right. This is not a good argument for design.
No.
Have to be perfectly designed in order to be intelligently designed. Third, imperfect design.
Okay, so he's also admitting that God doesn't perfectly design things. Like, okay.
Doesn't sound like a perfect creator to me.
Oh, man. Tim's doing our job for us. I appreciate it.
Design is perfectly consistent with intelligent design in a broken world. Number 9 offers another...
He just drops that bomb and goes to the next one, huh?
I'm going to back it up because
it's a broken world.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'll get back to that because I was distracted because in my mind I love the sequence here. I'm sure they're actually unrelated, but in my mind I love making them related. Matt says maybe he can't drink antifreeze, to which Missing Mod immediately replies, BRB. So Missing Mod, don't, please don't.
Hold my antifreeze.
Please don't come back to us, Mod. The floor is ketchup at BS's house. Just throwing the tomatoes. He's trying to make my floor ketchup, I guess. All right, so let's hear that bomb that he just dropped because I was distracted. Thanks again, chat. I mean, I love you. Keep it up.
Designed in order to be intelligently designed. Third, imperfect design is perfectly consistent with intelligent design in a broken world. Number 9.
In a broken world.
No, but then it's not imperfect. But then it's not imperfect design. It's perfect design that was then corrupted. But him saying it's so that means that like our brokenness caused God to design things imperfectly.
A perfect
based on how he worded that.
And a perfect world would never be subject to corruption in the first place.
Right? Yeah, that's what my favorite response when people say, "Oh, it's things happen because like it's not God's fault. It's just that we're broken." Well, I say, "Okay, well, who made me so fragile?"
Yeah, by
Yeah.
conceding that Adam and Eve ate a fruit that they weren't supposed to eat, and that had real life ramifications within the natural world, is granting another entity or process with having creative abilities.
Mm-hmm. Or at least the ability to destroy what God has created or mess it up.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do a good enough job, and he
Well,
let us have the power to. Yeah.
For all my computer programmers out there with logic gates, we're going to talk about like if God made the repercussions for the consequences of them eating the sin fruit, like he had to program that in. So like, okay, if X happens, they eat the fruit, then Y happens. Y being thorns grow on plants and people sweat a lot, and women's vaginas get smaller, so childbirth is really painful.
Yeah.
Which that's
Yeah.
kind of a mixed blessing right there for guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's the other thing that always gets me, like with how much like Christians or like other theists really like try to blame, like how many things they try to blame on sin and the fall. But if you actually read back in Genesis, the only consequences that God specifically lays out is that farming and childbirth are going to be difficult, and women aren't going to like snakes, but they're going to want their dude. That's it.
There's no sun cancer in there.
Yeah,
Like,
no sun cancer, no illnesses, no natural disasters, no murders, no stealing, like nothing. It's
Yeah.
just
well, because I get the free will arguments where they're going to say like, oh, well, your free will causes evil. But the free will like sin thing doesn't give any good explanation to natural evils, or
nope.
Evils is a bad word, but that's their word. Like
Right.
sun cancer and all this stuff that he's trying to say the negative effects of fine tuning are in a broken world.
Right. And real quick, just want to point out, glad Maud's back, hoping she did not drink the antifreeze. Maud, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just look
Now
up
just
in
stop.
the chat. I just appreciated where your comment came right after Matt's, and I just put the two together and amused myself.
Now,
Hopefully others as well.
If she'd only stop drinking the Kool-Aid, then we'd all be good.
But we're glad you're here. All right. Gonna finish this eventually, I swear, to the God as portrayed by Morgan Freeman.
9 offers another non sequitur. Proof number 10. Evolution is obviously proven and true. This means that we weren't created by magic and are somehow superior to the animal kingdom. No creator, no God.
Yeah. Again, doesn't necessarily prove no God. Now, I'll let him go a little more, unless you had anything right off the bat. Yes.
Are you into conspiracy theories? Do you fancy that as a... Because my conspiracy theory for this video and for Mike Winger's video is that a Christian created this list.
Ooh.
Pretending
it
to
is
give,
that bad.
Pretending to give like semi good points, but also making them bad enough that these two were able to like destroy the atheists in 3 minutes. So my conspiracy theory is that the guy who wrote this either works for Kukul Industries or Mike Winger.
Or was it missing Mod on the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, that would be a freaking twist, wouldn't it?
Oh, what if it was actually Mike Winger that wrote this?
That's what I'm saying. But like, they would probably hire one of their underlings to do it so they could have plausible deniability. Like, what are you talking about? I have an alibi.
Was this how
the Lord at 1:05 in the afternoon?
Or this was 4 years ago. Was this how Wes Huff like started to get his big break? Did he write this?
Oh my God! Layers upon layers.
Mm-hmm.
You're making this so deep. The rabbit hole goes so deep.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. We're breaking this story wide open.
Oh, Cafe. Highlight Cafe so I can
Okay.
chastise him. Cafe, we all know it was Flavor Aid because they couldn't afford the brand name.
Right.
Kool-Aid.
That's true. Yeah, Kool-Aid's been getting a bad rap for all these years.
I think that Kool-Aid or Flavor Aid started the campaign to call it Kool-Aid so they could take them down a peg. More conspiracy
Speaking of
theory.
conspiracy. Right. So it's, as Mr. B would say, it's a straw man list.
A straw man.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know if you were here at this point, Fox, but he's accented the word man on straw man, and we were amused.
And we're going to go out and get iced cream after this.
Yeah, just watch back. It'll make sense or not, but you might be amused at how much sense it doesn't make. But yeah, that is the Wes Huff method of scholarship. Tin man the opposition.
You spelt dicks wrong, missing mod.
Yeah. The Nixon dicks? I don't know. Don't nick your dicks. It's circumcision? I don't know. Anyway.
Moving on.
All right.
Biological evolution, even if true, has nothing to do with the existence of God. It has to do with God's alleged role in biology. That's all. If Darwin was right, atheists can still be wrong, as shown by a large number of theistic evolutionists. So this is another non sequitur. Despite what you've been told, evolution doesn't disprove God. Stop the clock. Boom.
Just in time. What a fucking stud.
All right. So here's the thing with Christians and evolution. Say, well, does it disprove Christianity or does it fit with it? So I'd say with certain things, yes. I mean, obviously, and again, if Dr. Kip has woken up, he can back me up on this. It's pretty clear to anyone who actually studies the creation story that this was not meant to be literal history. It was kind of allegory, metaphor, whatever. So Christians will say, oh, so we can believe that evolution is how the world came about, but still but since the Bible, in the creation story, wasn't trying to tell that story, they don't conflict. It's just okay, evolution is how it actually happened. The creation story is just a story with different lesson thing to learn. Okay, there's that. But I think the evolution, as we understand it, creates a much bigger problem for Christianity than I think even the Christians who accept evolution realize. Because it's not just about the literal creation of the world. There's so many other implications of Christianity that I think evolution pretty much destroys. Primarily being that humans are somehow special. Because that is a big part of the Christian religion is humans are not just unique but special and at a certain level over and above all the rest of creation. God speaks to us, he gave us souls, and we're the ones who, I guess there's some people who think that animals still have souls and go to heaven or not, but when it comes to God communicating with us, he gave us the Bible. It's as much as I love dogs, they can't read the Bible. Only us can, because we can words. But you get what I'm saying? It's evolution shows that we're just an animal just like the rest of them. And again, going back to the whole how we prioritize and think when it comes to the fine-tuning argument and how life exists, just how we think life is some special thing. We think, obviously being us, we think we're something special, but because we can point out yes, there are things that separate us in certain ways from all the rest of the animals, but every animal has ways that separate it from the rest. That's why we have different species. It's just we think the things that make us different are just on some whole nother level. Am I making sense, or am I just rambling at this point? Or
you are making a lot of sense, chat, but I was distracted.
Yeah,
I was distracted, and admittedly,
I was distracted by this. Hey,
Matt's Yeah, his chat distracted me. No, because I cannot stop seeing the semblance between you and Mr. B over here, like twinsies, bro. And so I was watching Mr. B when you were playing him, and I wasn't listening to the words because I stopped listening to him a couple points back because he's just the worst. But
Fair enough.
I know that
enough.
he's a successful YouTuber and public speaker, and I know that you're interested in becoming a successful YouTuber and getting, reaching that 100 sub milestone.
Right. Honestly, right now I'm just looking for. I'm looking for. What was our number? Well, obviously, like
50
we're
something.
Well, we're
60?
at 60 now.
Holy fuck!
So, yeah, I know.
I remember those
But,
days, man. But I was thinking while watching him, you should.
Hey, Kip's awake.
You should. Hey, Kip. Good timing. You should mirror Mr. B's mannerisms, and you will shoot to like
Okay.
200 subs in no time. So, yeah, you have to look right and look left and look surprised sometimes, and then look like you're a hubris-filled son of a bitch sometimes. And you have to do this all like very organically, so people think that you're the fucking, you know what you're talking about, and you're the shit.
Yeah, see, there's the catch: is me doing anything organically, because I'm afraid like one of the aspects of the tism is like me acting natural is basically not doing anything.
No, but that's the kicker. I know also one of the things of the tism is honing a perfected skill of mimicry. And so if you model yourself on Tim Barnett, you could be the atheist Tim Barnett. I don't know if that's an appealing thought or not. But like, if we're just judging by the numbers, if we're just looking at like his,
if it can get me to monetization, then yes, it's appealing.
Yeah. So this is, I don't even want to derail your show, but I was saying, like, if you go back when you're off the stream and you look at the last 10 seconds, he looks left, he looks right, everything's confusing. But then all of a sudden there's a moment of clarity and he's like, fallacy. And then that's it. And it's game over for the atheist. But you could just do that same formula and you could just shut down theists left and right.
Ooh. Something to shoot for, that's for sure. Or if we could only get more glowing endorsements from the likes of Dr. Kip. Like
no. You get those glowing endorsements by acting like Tim Barnett. And then he's like, wow, that guy really knows something. I'm going to endorse him. And I'm not going to sleep during his show because I don't know what he's going to do next. I got to stay tuned.
Right, man. See, Matt, apparently our problem is we're too predictable. Just like, why do only the smartest apes think farts are funny? I mean,
farts are really funny.
I mean, the argument from fart jokes. There it is.
I'm sorry. I'm into my third drink, and it's the new Belgium 1985 Mango IPA.
Ooh.
So.
Sounds tasty.
I lost track of the evolution thing because I get so bored of the evolution thing because I have to fight with Missing Maud in the chats all the time because she's like, evolution is your religion, you dumb atheist. I'm like, I don't fucking care. I really don't care about evolution. That's not why I don't believe in God.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care if you call it a religion or not. All I care about is we can demonstrate it. That's okay. Yeah. But so my thing is, like I said, like I think the evolution poses many more problems to Christianity than the Christian evolutionists seem to realize. Just in the whole, like, it completely destroys the notion that humans are special over and above any other animal species. Because if you just look at the tree of life, we're just not. We fit in very nicely amongst like other apes and like where we're at and everything. But the other thing is the whole, and this is something I know of people like Christopher Hitchens like talk about all the time. It's like, okay, well, if humans just like slowly evolved, okay, at what point did we become human, and at what point did we get a soul, and at what point did sin enter the world? It's like, without like a specific creation point of all humanity starting from X, Like, you don't have that point. So
that's the whole premise of William Lane Craig's book about Adam and Eve and evolution being true, because he's like, oh, there was Cro-Magnon man to Homo sapiens, and somewhere along the line they got a soul.
Ooh. No. Sorry, I was distracted by this. This sounds really good. Pork chops and pasta. Yeah, let us know what you're drinking there, Kip.
I was more
curious.
I was more enticed by the mango and weed combo.
Yeah, quite. I actually have a mango somewhere in the house, but no weed though. But like I said, even if I had it, it probably wouldn't work. Yeah. So
I apologize. I'm being a bad co-host on this point. Because the evolution debate is so tiresome at this point for me.
What makes you say you're being a bad co-host?
Because I don't care about this point. And I'm just talking about how you should like improve your YouTube career by mimicking Tom Barnett.
Wait, so what about the way the show usually goes with me and Matt does not talking about the topic but talking about something completely different makes you think you're a bad host? Like, it's like you've never even watched the show, dude. Come on.
That's a good point. I don't feel so bad anymore.
See? There you go. So
props to Matt the human.
Yes. All right. Well, let's let him finish out, and then we can get on to other shenanigans if you're up for it. So
that is how it's done, Mike Winger. There's no way Mike did under 3 minutes. That guy's videos are an hour long. There's no possible way he's going to do this in 3 minutes. Well, there you have it, folks. We did 10 quick answers to 10 bad arguments. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to head over to Mike Winger's YouTube channel, The Bible Thinker.
Yeah, we already.
Boo. Okay. Here's a question for you, Tommy. Now that you've watched both of these videos, who is the more engaging apologist, Mike Winger or Tim Barnett?
Man. I mean, I guess my initial reaction is Barnett, but only because he seems to have just a slightly more pleasant personality, I guess. Whereas, like, I mean, they're both obnoxious, but I think
he's less boring. That last joke with the black and white, that was a little bit like, haha, that was funny-ish. Mike Winger is so dry, dude. He's so dry.
Yeah.
He's got that Canadian humor like Kip Davis.
Oh, so dry. I mean, you saw him in that ad. That was perfect, like deadpan delivery about him bragging about how he falls asleep for us. But which, by the way, we're like anyone like not knowing what I'm talking about. I feel like maybe I should play it again.
Play it again. Let's do it again.
Because Kip commented, but apparently maybe he dozed off again. So like every time.
If you aren't subscribed to The Humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah. I wondered where you went.
We're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
I didn't say humorless, Kip. I said Canadian humor. That's your bad for reading it that way.
Man, Kip with the huge diss on Canadian humor out of nowhere. Man. Now, but Kip does bring up a very good dichotomy here. Yes, Winger is smug, Barnett is annoying. Yep, that's
same thing.
Yep,
they're just both the worst. If there's two categories for the worst, they both of them. But Barnett is slightly more bearable for me because he makes jokes, and I like jokes.
Yeah, he seems more personable. Where it seems like the way I would put it is, if neither of them were apologists, like take away that aspect of them, just like them as people, I have the feeling Barnett, like I would still maybe actually like him as a person, but Winger would still just annoy the fuck out of me.
And that's not because you
So.
guys look the same at all. you have a request in chat to play the video yet again. I think you should do it.
Well, hey, we are here for the humanity, if nothing else. So,
if you aren't subscribed to the Humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah. I wondered where you went.
we're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
I still, my favorite part of that is where he says it's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
So
the usually part comes from when I guest host on this show, because he's probably like, I don't include those times when B.S. Lewis covers for Matt. That's when it's not very good.
Won't have it. But yeah, the Pult Fucker is better than Winger, but only more engaging because the evil is Big Matt. Good point. Well, and Winger is more punchable.
Agreed. So, agreed.
That is very true. But hey, if you insist.
Well,
if you aren't subscribed to the Humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah. I wondered where you went.
We're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
that's,
sorry.
I was saying we have evidence to the contrary here.
Sorry, so I think I cut you off. There, you were starting to say something there.
That was it. We have evidence of the contrary. I was trying to lead you into the video, but you beat me to it.
Okay. Oh, he doesn't tire of watching. I finally see what you did there.
Yeah.
Humanity. Watch it when there's nothing else on. Man, we have the best like backhanded promo. That's a new thing I'm creating here. Yeah, it's like a backhanded compliment, but a backhanded promo.
That's a tagline for your banner on your channel whenever you get around to it.
Mm-hmm.
Watch us when there's nothing else on.
Yeah, the humanity, if you must. So,
or your banner says, "Be like, oh, the humanity." No, that was dumb. Sorry.
That is one of my favorite things. Like whenever I like jump in the chat somewhere and say something, like several people just respond, "Oh, the humanity." And that's like my favorite thing ever. So
there you go. You made a built-in catchphrase. That's pretty good,
right?
Branding, marketing genius here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So,
Matt the Human, you're the one with the bandana.
Oh.
Another branding, marketing genius there.
Aha. Mm-hmm. Oh, but yes, Fox makes a good point. Yes, watching Nitty during that, and like so but just in case if anyone didn't notice, Nitty's face. Like, look, I put way too much time in making this thing, so I'll take any excuse to play it more. So yeah, so this watch it again, but this time, watch the Nitty.
If you aren't subscribed to the Humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah. I wondered where you went.
We're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
Yep. Again, but. Thank you, Fox. Yeah, backhanded promo. I'm going to use that. Oh, and Matt, now that you're in the chat, you missed earlier. For some reason, and not, if this isn't something you can take care of now, but if you notice, I don't have our usual lower third or whatever. It just disappeared from Restream. So I guess whenever you get a chance.
So you're not going to have your face covered anymore, Matt.
Yeah. I mean... This would be the easiest way to make promos just because we have so many mediocre moments to act like they're amazing. That's the show, basically. Yeah, the humanity, where it's so mediocre you think it's amazing. No.
Oh,
Oh,
Nitty's here.
speaking of Nitty,
So let's stop talking shit about Nitty now that he's here. Okay.
uh,
I thought that
that's
guy
true. I
retired.
mean, yeah, and I can commiserate with Nitty there being in the same time zone as Budget Scripture Saturday, being a very late show for us Eastern time zoners. So, but yeah, Nitty, let me know if you didn't watch, if you missed the promo, or if you only caught like a tail end of it or something. If you want me to play it again, please let me know.
I think you should just to catch him up.
Yeah, well, yeah. Don't bother. Like, hey, it's all right. I'll just do it anyway for you.
If you aren't subscribed to the Humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah. I wondered where you went. Get those off.
We're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
Oh, he's seen it. Okay, good. Many times.
See,
all right.
What you guys are witnessing right now with Tommy and his intro promo here is like the beginning of a Michael Bay thing. Like, this is the next Transformers guy right here.
Okay.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Okay.
You're a genius of cinema, just in the beginnings of his mastery.
Gotcha. Well, that is like, I did study like media production in college, but I haven't used it as an actual job. And
did you use it in that promo?
So, right. Well, okay. Haven't used it for a paying job in quite some time. But,
I could tell.
Yeah.
I could tell that you were like classically trained.
Oh, I thought you meant, I could tell you've never done that for money. Another backhanded promo.
There isn't many things I've never done for money, so.
All right. All right. Well, BS, you down for another video?
Yeah, I'm drunk, so.
All right.
You got a loosey goose BS here, so.
Yeah.
Warning.
All right. Well, I guess speaking of which, before we get into another one, I do need to pee. So if I'm just putting you on the spot here, but if you wouldn't mind just entertaining the folks for a minute or two, or however long it takes me, if that's cool with you.
Okay. If it takes less than a minute, see your doctor. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to Nitty because I haven't covered Nitty. So you go pee, and me and Nitty are going to have a chat. And I'm going to ignore everybody else in the chat.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Nitty, like I do have a link out in the chat if Nitty or anyone else wants to join as well. Now, I won't be able to actually let you in until I get back. But if you want to hang out in the waiting room, click the link anytime. In fact, just for you or anyone else, I'll put it in the chat one more time. Just for y'all. Then I will go relieve myself and be right back. So, all yours, BS.
All right. Now I'm going to be silent for 2 minutes to wreck the show. Dead air, everybody. I do play the ukulele BS, or spooky BS. I don't have anything to apologize for, though. The only time you actually bust out your ukulele is if you have to make a public apology to everybody on the internet. Top G says Nitty doesn't like the titty. That's my attempt at a B.S. Lewis-esque drunken joke, loosey-goosey joke. I have evidence to the contrary on that. If you'd watch my cartoon collab with Nitty. What is the name of it, Nitty? Are you still here? You remember the name of the cartoon? It's something to do with social media and Jesus and how he sucks at marketing. If you watch till the end of that video, you'll find out that Nitty does enjoy the titties quite a bit. Like, he is the titties, as a matter of fact. When B.S. Lewis drops his bra and shows you his full glorious bosom, he lets everybody know that it's nitty. And then,
Speaking of which,
hey, speak of the devil,
Big,
How-
bring your big nitties.
nitty's got the titties.
Yeah,
we brought them. So, how's it going, man?
it's going. I don't know what else to say.
Hey, I can relate.
lurking.
I can relate.
Well, you're looking sharp,
Lurking.
Nitty.
Well,
Looking
thank
sharp.
you. Got a haircut. So
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, me
Yeah.
too. Actually, just today.
So he got the Tim Barnett special.
Hey, stop it. But yeah, you may have noticed, like, BS is on. Like,
Oh,
for
yes.
some reason, I don't know if there's a way in Restream to just show his avatar, but I guess the way
We
it
don't
is,
need it. We don't need it.
Yeah, so I have him in the crawl though, so
Oh.
we know he's there.
I'm the ghost in the machine.
I'm looking for that video.
Have you seen my cartoon with Nitty, Tommy?
I have not.
Oh.
So yeah,
The
if someone
church
wants
has a
to-
branding problem 11
church-
months ago.
It's been that long? Damn,
Yeah.
I feel like yesterday.
God damn it.
Wow.
Nitty crushed it. He made an excellent cartoon character.
Well, thank you. I've wanted to do cartoons like my whole life. I just got to get script reading down a bit more. But
I would say out of a lot of the people I've read with, like, you were one of the most authentic. The banana stuff at the very end was very. I'm choking on this banana. The fucking.
I really ate a banana for that too.
he committed to the fucking role. It was tight.
No. So
All right, what were we watching?
All right. We were
I
about.
caught you rerunning the promo over and over and over again.
Well, the people wanted it apparently,
Oh,
or
yeah.
I was assuming the people wanted it.
The
and I was
person.
proud. So we just finished watching Tim Barnett or Mr. B or Red Pen Logic, going
Tim
over a
Darn
bunch
it.
of darn it, going over what really weren't necessarily the best, like, atheist arguments against God, or at least as presented. There were a lot of good arguments in there, but yeah, it was just unfortunate wording and presentation or whatever. But next, I was gonna watch, and this is something. When did this go up? Come on, YouTube, show me a date. No, 1 month ago. But I saw. If you guys are familiar with the channel, Mr. Deity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he covered this recently. I don't know if it was today or just in the past couple days. It was a debate from the guy. I don't know his real name, but his channel is a Deconstruction Zone.
Yeah, Justin.
Mm-hmm. He was having a debate with an Orthodox priest named Father Joseph about whether or not God is good. Now, and I guess this video, it's on his DZ Debates channel, so I guess it's like kind of a supplementary channel to his main one. Looks like it's just a clip here. It's 27 minutes. I don't know if I feel like watching the whole thing. I mean, I guess we'll see what you guys feel like. But there was something, like, pretty much right off the bat at the beginning of this video, and this is the part that Mr. Deity responded to, that I was like, this is some things. So, so let's see here. Go ahead and bring it up, but I don't want it over there.
Yeah, just a little.
I want it over there.
A little pretext for you guys with Father Joseph there. He's rolling with the Jim Bob crew, so if you know who that is.
Yay.
I might.
That's what we never wanted.
So tell me as if I don't remember.
Do you know what Andrew Wilson is?
I don't
Jay
think
Dyer.
so.
Jay Dyer?
I've heard of Jay Dyer, and I've heard things about him, but not directly familiar with him.
Mainly, they're a bunch of Eastern Orthodox precept bros, so they like to use philosophy. But Father Joseph is not so much into the philosophy. He's more of the biblical Eastern Orthodox kind of expert.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they basically will reach for him like a screwdriver when there's too many Bible questions that make sense. So
Ah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Nitty.
Well, these questions make
hang
sense.
on,
Damn it.
I'm a philosopher, but I'm not allowed to interpret scripture. So let me grab this other guy who does.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So the reason I wanted to watch this, like I said, definitely some stuff in the first several minutes here, and I guess we'll see how long we go, depending on how long you guys want to go. Where it's not just there's the things that he says that are like pretty disturbing as far as like what he's willing to like excuse or justify like on God's behalf, as far as like terrible shit like in the Bible that he does, but I think more than that, it's just the way that he's using certain tactics, and I think just the subject matter kind of amplifies it a bit, but really just at its base, like just the underlying logic that I think it's pretty common in apologetics. But yeah, maybe we should just play it so you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, and as BS says, smash that like button and body slam this subscribe and pile drive the notification. I don't know.
That's the Tim
why are you
Barnett
so
Riz I'm
rough?
talking about.
Look, I'm not a real YouTuber. I just play one on YouTube, so I don't know how that
Fair
works.
enough.
But so, all right. So let's get into this dumpster fire of a thing.
Father Joseph, are you? I'm so used to asking if you're at least 18. You're at least 18.
I hope so.
So you earned those gray whiskers. So I'm not going to take that from you. And are you a believer in some kind of a God?
I'm an Orthodox Christian.
Cool. And do you think that the biblical God is all?
See, this is one thing that's frustrating, is that there's two ways to actually use Orthodox now. There's lowercase Orthodox and uppercase Orthodox. And he does mean uppercase Orthodox, but Protestants could really fuck around and say, I'm an Orthodox Christian, when really what they mean is there's a base level of doctrine that they'll agree with, but they don't. They actually kind of hate Eastern Orthodox people.
That's a good point. What's funny about the word Orthodox is it just means correct belief. Right. And every Christian thinks they have the correct belief. So
now, is this true? Nitty, are you the only professional on the panel?
Yeah, that's true.
Ask your mom.
It's like that, Tommy, you fucking bitch. Oh, fucking Nitty didn't even blink an eye. Ask your mom, Tommy.
I bring you onto my show.
Fucking suck it, Tommy.
That killed me. Funny. I am dead. All right.
I didn't know your mom joke would cook that hard. Like
it fucking cooked me to fucking smithereens.
Well, there was my ab workout for the day.
You turned them all red, Nitty. What the fuck?
That doesn't take much. I got a lot of Irish in me. So.
A lot of beer in you.
That too. Bit of a lightweight.
Yeah, we ordered a Mr. Tomato Head, so let's go.
Alrighty. But yeah, as far as the Orthodox thing,
I'll stop roasting you now.
See? Spooky better. See? Yeah. With one fucking mic drop moment, Nitty proved it right.
Yep. So, but yeah, the whole Orthodox thing, it's like how some churches claim to be they say, well, we're a Christian church, or we're like a church of God. It's like, well, yeah, they kind of all are, but it depends on how you use the terms. But yeah. Anyway. All right. So let's see what this apparently capital O Orthodox dude has to say
all good, partly good, or some mixture?
No, I believe he's all good.
Okay, cool.
All good.
Do you think that God has ever done anything that is not good?
No.
Okay, cool. Do you think that, let's say, like children, do you think children should be punished for, I don't know, like making fun of somebody by death?
Depends on the circumstances.
He just gave you the circumstances. Like,
Right.
making,
Yeah.
making fun of somebody. Now,
It depends if they made fun of a bald head like Tommy.
yeah. And that's one of several ways I do be like a tomato. So,
like, wait, this is a person who views children through this lens. Children are sin factories, first and foremost. And that's like a line that Protestants are fine going down, right? Because if every person has a default nature orientation towards hell, right, separation from God, right, you can follow that to the conclusion that there's nothing your children can do to not sin, right? Your children are just going to sin. They're just going to produce sin. They're going to sin it up, right? And what that can do is create an abusive relationship dynamic where you're an adult in a belief that somehow this child's actions are on an equal playing field to an adult doing those actions to you. So corporal punishment is justified because something sacred and powerful about you was violated by your equal, right? It's you don't think of it that way. People don't think of it that way, but I think that's kind of what's in as I'm talking through it. That could be one thing that's going on. Or another, right, is that this parent is so high above, right? But this child has to know better. It's like a projection of the adultness and moral compass down to a child, right? Which is, you should not do that. You cannot do that. We know that's psychologically stupid, right? And it just, we know their cognitive development is not there. We don't hold children culpable for the actions, that the same actions of an adult. Now, there are exceptions where someone's further along in a development and they do commit some crazy things and they could be tried as an adult. But what we're talking about is bad words.
Right.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Like where a elderly man who is following the all-powerful God of the universe can't stand being called bald.
Exactly.
What?
Yeah. And
like that is like a puny, weak, fragile psyche person, and God.
One might even
God's
say
like,
snowflake.
I got you, bro. That was whoa. He crossed those children crossed a line. Like,
right. And Fox makes it a good insight here. Yeah, if the circumstances involve bears, he's fine with it. Is how I read that. Yeah. Now this is an important point because he'll say later, but it's like, I mean, obviously, what's it say his name? Justin, was that it? BS. Are you still there, BS?
That is Justin.
Okay. Yeah. So for anyone who's like familiar with the Bible, like they might know what like Justin here is referring to a specific story where it was Elijah or Elisha, one of those two prophets, where like some boys from the town came up and said like, "Go on up, you baldy head," like making fun of his bald head for whatever reason. And then God basically, I don't remember if it was through the prophet directly or if God just sent a bunch of she bears to kill the boys. So that's what he's talking about. But you can tell like this guy, what's his name, Father Joseph.
Elisha.
Yeah, Elisha. Thank you. You can tell like he knows what he's talking about, but the thing is, that's why he's not willing to say, yeah, that's wrong. Because I guarantee if that was not a Bible story, or if he had no idea that that was a Bible story, if you just put that situation out there, oh, kids making fun of an old dude for being bald, should they be killed for that? Everyone would say no. But because this guy knows, and he'll get to that, because he's saying like, "Oh, you're trying to get me in a gotcha or whatever." It's like, no, that's the story, man. But
Yeah, I'm too old for a gotcha.
Oh, well, yeah. I was gonna say stuff about
George,
parenting,
yeah.
like being a parent myself. You know, I was taught after leaving Christianity that this is a small person with big emotions. So there's so much going on here that they have not learned the skills to deal with the rest of the world like everyone else can, right? The capacities aren't there. They're trying to learn this regulation, and it's your job to teach them, right?
Yep. Exactly. So, all right. So I guess that's kind of like laying the groundwork for this. Is like Justin is putting this situation out there because there is something he's specifically referring to, and for a reason. But Father Joseph here is going to try to evade it. But like I said, just listen to like how he's answering and just think, okay, he's answering this way because he knows this is in the Bible. But if this was like any other circumstance, any normal person would say like, no, that's not right. But it's like, but he can't say that because he knows it's in the Bible. So he's going to try to do what he can to get around it. So, and that's not poisoning the well. That's just pointing out the poison that's already in there. So,
Can you elaborate?
Yeah. I think that, for example, children making fun
and this is him elaborating why it's okay to kill children for making fun of
of, say, God in his presence, to
In
cause
his presence.
consternation among the public. I think if a child does that, it's horrific and kind of not the most realistic thing. But yeah, one could imagine circumstances mocking the dead in their presence. I mean, there are things where children would naturally not do that, but perhaps a child under the inspiration of the demons can.
There's so many problems there.
Yeah. So first of all, just real quick, what he said at the end, but children under the influence of the demons. Okay, well then you blame the demons, not the children. But anyway, so yeah, go ahead, Nitty.
They would make fun of God in his presence. Well, what does it mean? Then define what it means to be in God's presence.
After they're dead already.
Oh, so the
This
bears
is another
killed
thing.
them.
This is another
And then they
thing
make fun of
Christians
God
don't
after they're
often
dead.
consider. How old are you in heaven?
Ooh.
Infinite years old.
Do you age? The Lord called those little Texan girls back to him. Okay, so when we meet them, how old will they be? Are they going to be cognitively culpable in the same way that an adult who didn't accept the Lord and Savior, that killed everyone and did accept the Lord and Savior, are they going to, or do they magic up to adult? Like, it should make you really uncomfortable, right? Or if you're like 90 and you die, you're like, oh, I'm going to get a new body. Well, how old is that body? Right? You don't fucking know. You're just going to make it up. You're going to pick your prime, where the fuck that was, and be like, I was the best George Clooney at this point, right? I was Anna Kendrick, bitch. Like,
I'm going to pick a 90-year-old body so I'm older than everybody else.
Yeah.
They have to respect me.
Yeah,
Respect your elders, bitch.
I want to look old and distinguished, but not anything like Father Joseph. Yeah. Can we just get that on the tap here?
He's too old for heaven right now.
Speaking of on the tap, so people.
Oh wait, you know what? The optimal age for God is like everyone's 900, like Adam. So,
but
also not having sex because there's no marriage or having kids.
Boo.
Man, heaven sounds like it sucks, but not in
Well,
the good way.
So it says no marriage, but it doesn't say no sex.
Yeah, if the Nephilim could fuck things, why can't we?
But
It's
also,
a giant swingers
and-
party.
but also the thing is, and Dr. Kip, if he's awake, he'll back me up on this.
Oh, sure he will.
According to like the like Hebrew Bible, like that's basically what we think of as marriage. Like they didn't have that word. Look, marriage was like a dude fucking a woman, and they're okay. Now they're married.
Property. Yeah.
So yeah, but speaking of on
Wait
tap,
a minute. So
Speaking of untapped,
I'm on my third drink, and it's non-alcoholic, and it's very okay.
So if Jesus said no one will be married or given in marriage, and it's the case that marriage is primarily defined by the act of penetration to the opposite sex, then it would follow that there is no consummation. Right? So then we wouldn't be having sex. Because the
Mormons are right. You consummate your marriage on life and in life, and then you're eternally married to him afterwards.
Well, the whole Pharisee example of if the woman's husband dies and she gets picked up as property by her brother, and that guy dies and gets picked up as property by the next brother, and that guy dies, whose wife will she be? Because presumably she spread them for all of them. So
Jesus says.
Right. And then Jesus is like, no, people aren't going to be putting their dicks anywhere.
He's like, they're all married to me, bitches, you bunch of simps. You bunch of cucks.
You
all
guys
the guys
can't
in heaven are
handle
cucks.
sharing her with me.
Yeah,
they're always going to be like...
all the males in heaven are cucks.
Or Jesus is going to be like, look, you're all going to be like my man Doubting Thomas. You're all going to be fingering my holes. So
what a fucked up way to actually read that parable now. I'm never going to read it differently. Like, hey, Jesus, I got a woman here and her husband's dead. And, when she gets passed on as property to this guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's his wife, right? She slept with that guy, right? And then the next one and the next one, their question implies that she was like, well, sleeping with this one, sleeping with that one. Or they're like, it's your duty to sleep with me because you're mine.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, it may have actually been the brother's duty to sleep with them to produce offspring, like Onan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, exactly.
So
Onan
the Pharisees are like, well, the property's been used 7 times. Who gets to own her?
Yep.
These are the questions we don't have to deal with as atheists. So it's a lot easier.
Yeah. But this is why all the even like the non-believers or atheists who still try to say, well, Jesus was still cool. It's like Jesus only reaffirmed the idea that women are property. Like he never disagreed with that. He only reaffirmed it. So
yeah, I agree with C.S. Lewis. He was definitely not a good moral teacher.
Right. But I would put him on the level of someone claiming to be a poached egg. So.
References. I got it.
Matt the Human says that I could look like Kip's, what is it, ventriloquist dummy. I think for the next budget scripture Saturday, I should paint those little, like, the chin lines on. And every time I talk, it's like, Kip, do you know what's in the Bible?
I fucking love the Bible. But you got to do it like right up on the mic and yell right into it. And
can I be a real boy?
Have you written any books?
Oh, maybe that's what Kip's doing. He didn't fall asleep. He's just finally writing a fucking book.
That's about time, Kip. Jeez.
And also, I know you're saying hi to Nitty and not B, but hi, Ember. I'll still say hi to you.
Hello.
So,
Ember comes and says everybody but you.
Yeah, and
hey,
Spooky,
what's
like
up, Nitty?
literally.
What's up, BS? What's up, Spooky? oh yeah, Matt's here too. Mwah, mwah.
Yeah, that's right. I remember Ember has said hi to me in other streams as well. So I guess maybe that's her thing. She only says hi to the commenters. I'm
Well,
I'm just
anyway,
giving you a hard
children
time.
are not
Right.
adults equals and should not be killed
Right.
for the same kinds of things adults can do.
Right. Now, so here's another thing that like Father Joseph is doing here. It's like, so Justin laid forward like a pretty like specific example of, okay, kids making fun of a dude for being bald. Should they be killed for that? But then what Father Joseph is like, oh yeah, I mean, children can be killed. Children can do all kinds of horrible things. It's like, okay, but he's not asking about all those things. He's asking about making fun of an old dude for being bald. Should they be killed for that?
I'm going to be fair to Father Joseph here. He hasn't done that. He's beating around the bush of that story, but he hasn't specifically addressed that story yet.
Well, yeah, but that's actually kind of what I am saying. It's like he's saying, because he's bringing up all these other instances, like all these other things that kids can do that could potentially be deserving of death. But that's not what Justin asked. Like he was asking about, but that's kind of my point, is he's not bringing up that specific story. He's talking about all this other stuff that Justin's not
He
asking
did
about.
say you can kill a kid for making fun of God.
Right.
So in a way,
Which
he
that's
was
its
addressing that.
Yeah, I guess, but that's its own kind of fucked up. But yeah, let's.
I'm just busting your chops, man. I'm here to keep you honest, Tommy.
Okay. Like, okay, hello. Hey, it's okay. I'm just glad you're here. Even if you can't see who else is here, we're glad you are. So thanks, Ember, for showing up. But yeah, it's all right. Well, let's let him cook himself.
Sure. Then it would be okay to have the children executed.
Well, if they were like seriously causing, psychological damage.
And I love Justin's face during all this. He's like, "Oh, okay."
If they were seriously causing
or something like
children are causing psychological damage to a community,
to God,
that's like there's quite a few gates you got to pass before that could be happening, right?
Yeah, and also if our threshold is like causing psychological damage, then like how many preachers can we execute?
Father Joseph. Sorry, I didn't mean
that.
Wow.
For starters,
YouTube. Hypothetically,
man, good thing yeah. Good thing we're not.
This is why
good thing we aren't monetized. Yeah, good thing we aren't actually monetized.
We'd be so
otherwise,
fucking kicked off and be on a list.
Father Joseph looks like a Simpsons character. I'm sorry.
Or as Matt said earlier, it looks someone from Fraggle Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is.
Frogord.
Yeah. Totally. And honestly, that's kind of an insult to Paw, but that's all right. It's all right. We'll let it go. So yeah, like I said, there's a couple things that Father Joseph is doing here is like where Justin is asking him, okay, does this thing that a kid possibly can do deserve death? And he's like, oh yeah, there's all kinds of things kids can deserve death. So it's almost like, I mean, Justin is kind of also arguing the general point is it ever okay to execute children? But the fact that he's also trying to bring up a specific point, but he's like ignoring the specific point and just going to the general, but still saying in general it is okay. So it's like he's evading the question, but still fucking himself over. Like
when there is a church testimony of someone who's like this, when I found Jesus, I had shot a bunch of other people in another gang, and I killed a dude. And, the Lord broke in while I was in prison that 6 months, and I'm on probation. It really showed me I got to change my ways. I'm so glad he spared me and let me tell you this story. And then a child makes fun of, a priest or whatever.
You fucking had it coming.
Nope. You're done. You're done. Yeah.
Why is repentance off the table for a child? Why?
Excellent point.
Why wouldn't that be extolled as a great turnaround? Nope. Curse, dead, eaten by bear.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like,
But Joe Thornton is like, I'm so glad the Lord just came into my life and during my probation here for murder for whatever reason.
yeah.
Fucking Joe
Now-
Thornton.
Now, here's what this reminds me of with him saying, like,
Oh,
okay,
because he
maybe
became
this.
a Christian. Sorry, that's why.
Right. Okay, so here's what this is reminding me of. Let me know if this is like reminding you of this as well. So with him kind of ignoring like the initial premise of, okay, is making fun of a dude for being bald prophet of God or not, cause for being executed. And him saying, well, but there's all kinds of things that a kid can do, like this thing a kid can do, like that's a bad thing. So execution's on the table for that. What this reminds me of is so often when a person of color is murdered by the police and people are just coming out of the woodwork to say, oh, but look, he had a criminal record, like he like stole some stuff or he did drugs.
It took like
Like,
this limit, right?
yeah, so they think, okay, so they have a point that, okay, so this person does have a criminal record, but none of those things on his rap sheet deserve the death penalty, but they're just making this like
Justification.
justification yet in their mind, like, well, he was guilty of something, therefore whatever the police did to him was justified because, but there's this huge gap that they're just leaping right the fuck over. So
I'm curious.
Yeah. But
about that passage in particular. Where's
I think he might be, Smurf's patriarch. He just needs the red hat. Yeah. If he was a little bluer. But
Papa Joseph.
But yes, when you dodge a biblical passage into the path of just plain child killing, yeah, that's not working well. Right? They make a good point. All right, Nitty, you doing some research there? You want me to keep going?
I'm looking at something, I'm looking at, so this is right after Elijah is taken up into heaven, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord, let's see, chariot of fire. Okay, so he performs a miracle like Moses, right, in verse 14. When Elisha struck the water, it divided to the right and left, and he crossed over. Company of prophets from Jericho are watching. The spirit of Elijah is resting on Elisha. And they bowed him to the ground before him. Look, we are your servants are 50 able men. Let them go and look for your master. Perhaps the spirit of the Lord has picked him up and set him down on some mountain or in some valley. So that's pretty funny, right? That these guys supposedly witnessed the God of the universe sweep someone up, and their first assumption is, well, he just took them somewhere else, right? Like, their concept of God is totally not ours. No, Elisha replied, do not send them. But they persisted until he was too embarrassed to refuse. So he said, send them. And they sent 50 men who searched for 3 days but did not find him. When they returned to Elisha, who was staying in Jericho, he said to them, didn't I tell you not to go? Couldn't find him. Okay, so he heals some water after this, right? And then he's made fun of. And then chapter 3, I'm looking here. Got rid of that. So for whatever reason, in the middle of this, so it looks like what's happening in the chapter. Sorry, I'm exegeting over here. And exegeting all over it. So it looks like what the passage is trying to do is establish Elisha as the new prophet. And whatever challenge is in his way is what the Lord is going to use to establish Elisha as that prophet. Now, here's the thing. There's no evidence that the people of Bethel had to know that Elisha was the new prophet. How would they have known that Elisha spoke for the Lord in the spirit of Elijah?
Because he said so.
Well, when did Elisha start following Elijah? Which is interesting. Let's see, Elisha. Where is the calling of Elisha?
Yeah. And while he's doing that, Matt just sent me some pictures, like for comparison with the Father Joseph here. So, I'm gonna where to go? Where to go? There it is.
I'm trying to see if Elisha was carted around for a while.
So, thank you, Matt. But yeah, I mean the
Matt's still contributing to the show, even though he's not.
Yes.
Here.
It's striking.
Okay.
Striking.
Ahab gets all pissed. There's some shit with a vineyard.
Nitty, I don't mean to be rude, but what does that have to do with killing kids with bears?
Well, I'm trying to say, I'm getting to the point here. The kids making fun of Elisha have no fucking clue what they're doing.
That they're even guilty of accusing a prophet of boldness. Got it.
And so there are means to an end for God to prove that he's with Elisha. That's it. God cares nothing about the quality of these children, whether or not they knew what they were doing, nothing. There are means to the end in the story to show that Elisha is the new prophet, right?
So
and the other thing is there's a weirdness to the number of the she-bears. Don't know if you noticed that. It's then 2 bears came out of the woods and mauled 42 of the boys. I believe the Hebrew is like 40 and 2. Like it's weird. And we all know 40 is like some fuckity magic number, right? So first Elisha is splitting waters to cross, right? And now there's some weird shit happening with 40. There's just all kinds of weird magic.
Yeah.
And God doesn't care about anyone except for Elisha. Everyone else is a means to an end. So the quality of these children, whether or not they could get an opportunity to repent, fuck them. God's like, nope, here you go. I'm gonna live up to your curse. There you go.
I heard that they were young adults.
Doesn't Dan McClellan like rip that the fuck apart this week?
Oh, I hope he does.
He did.
Oh, good.
All right. Anyway,
thanks, Dan.
Let's talk about preserving children's lives.
Yeah, but but man, I'm like gaining all kinds of new terms tonight. So there was the whole like backhanded promo, but now exegeting. I'm going to have to add that to the lexicon as well. So thank you for that, Nitty.
Yeah, exegeting is just reading a passage and interpreting it and shit like that.
Yeah.
And exegeting is reading a passage and ignoring it.
No, exegeting is splooging your interpretation all over the place.
Fair enough.
I like it. All right. Yeah. So let's see, where were we? Oh yeah. So him like trying to say, well, there's certain things that kids could potentially do that might be deserving of execution. So therefore, this one thing they did was also deserving of execution. So, but he knows what he's talking about, and he's going to address that, I think, soon.
Like that, or
children.
I think if they're hurting people, kids can unfortunately. Well, of course we should treat children good as they are, in a positive sense. But I mean, we can't deny the fact that even 5-year-olds have shot other people. I mean, like the potential for evil.
Okay, so which of these 42 youths shot at Elisha?
Yeah, like shooting a person is on the same, on par with calling somebody bald. Same thing.
yeah, this, I don't know. Is that equivocation? I don't know. It's a
Hey.
thing that's not a good.
I think this is
Mhm.
personal to Father Joseph because he's bald, and so he's like taking offense at this.
Ah, yeah, and he's looking
He's
at Justin here with that beautiful head of hair that he's still got. Yeah,
he's
yeah.
projecting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I maybe kind of relate, but I haven't gone to the point where I'm okay with like executing children. So
Give it time. Father Joseph is a lot older than you.
that's true. Ah, damn it. Oh well.
It's still there in a child. It's just usually it has to be inculcated. I mean, I hate to say it, but moral perversion, for example, that can be caused through abuse. So, the fact that you just generically say children, it's not a cover.
If a group of junior high students make fun of a pastor for being bald, would it be okay to execute them?
I don't know. I don't know the circumstance.
You don't know.
He just gave you the circumstances.
Which again, and we'll see why he's avoiding telling us. Like he'll actually like lay it out soon, but yeah.
So
I just want to say in the chat, Cafe is really annoyed with Justin. Cafe is like a Justin hater in the chat, man.
Huh. Yeah.
He's
Sorry,
all-
I haven't been paying
He's
attention
saying,
to the chat.
"Oh,
Yeah.
he has a receding hairline. It's only a matter of time till he's bald."
Oh, so then he'll be okay with executing children as soon as his hair get. So at what point on the head does the hairline have to get to when you're like, all right, execute the children? Like,
You got to get like Hulk Hogan at least. You have long on the side, but bald on
Ooh.
the top.
Oh, interesting. So in Jewish mysticism, I put this in the chat.
oh yes. Mhm.
Yeah. The number 42 is significant for the name of God. And so something is happening here where the judgment is coming because these boys blaspheme the name of God in every way possible, I guess, for Baldy.
Mhm.
Today I learned that there were 42 stops in the journey of the Exodus.
Ooh.
So that's where they get, and there's like a 42 character name for God or something like
And
that.
42 is the meaning of all life.
Yeah. Oh shit. The answer is
Man.
42.
It's all coming together, just
Just
like fingers. All right. but we'll get to why Father Joseph is being so evasive here, and it's a terrible reason.
Oh.
No, I mean, we're asking these things in a way that's emotionally slanted, but in reality, there can be situations where that can happen.
Well, let's say that the pastor was like really emotionally hurt. Like he thought the kids were going to like him, and it turns out they're making fun of him because he's bald. Is it okay to kill him?
Don't know. I mean, what?
I
we're gonna have
don't
to have
know.
more sir.
I don't know. I don't know. This is what happens when
So
you outsource.
hey.
You outsource your morality to a god. He doesn't
Hey,
know.
look, that pastor, he needs a discount to BetterHelp after he got made fun of
Ah.
by these children, and that can't stand. All right, a pastor needing a discount for BetterHelp counseling after he got made fun of at church. I mean, where are the bears?
No, all the I don't know talk in outsourcing morality to a higher power is going to corrupt the whole justice system on earth completely. How do we know that anybody's guilty of anything? I don't know. Maybe God wanted them to, rob that liquor store. Who knows?
Yep. Yeah, divine command theory like completely fucks up any actual sense of morality, because like at that point it's like it's not morality, it's just obedience, and it could be obedience to anything. You have no idea what
Yep.
God's gonna want you to do next.
By the
like,
way,
as much as
sorry, finish that.
sorry, I was going to say, like, as much as like Christian apologists specifically try to say that it's like us non-Christians that have no standard of morality and everything's like moral chaos, it's like, no, that's what you have, Christians. Like, apparently God could tell you to do anything, like sacrifice your son, slaughter a bunch of children. Yeah.
By the way, BetterHelp is a good service,
Mhm.
and mental illness and trauma and all that stuff is not to be laughed at. But
Right. Oh, real quick, just want to say, Susan, how's it going? It's been a while. Good to see you, even if it is just a drive-by hello. Hope all is well. Yeah, I think so, or well enough. Anyway, hope all is well with you too. Also, like my condolences for your doggos recently. I know that's tough, but yeah, thanks for stopping by. Good to hear from you again. All right. All right. So yeah, there's a point that Father Joseph is getting to where he makes the connection, like where he says he realizes what Justin's trying to get at, and I think that's a big thing. So let's get to the thing. Oh, real quick. Quick. Twitch. No. Oh, I've been modding for a friend on Twitch. Oh, that old bunkers your life right up, I assume. So, oh, he's getting by. He's a little mopey. I can understand. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, Susan. Back to
Like, I know that this is most likely some sort of reference to a religious text.
a religious text,
So, you know,
aka I
kinda,
didn't read all of my Bible.
Okay, not
Well-
to be fair, but Orthodox don't know their Bible. They don't read shit.
well, I don't know. I think only because I've already seen this before. I think he's kind of being. I think he knows exactly what he's talking about. He's just trying to be like a little coy with it. But
That coy motherfucker.
yeah, let's.
you notice I'm pretty old. I'm kind of past that gotcha thing.
Well, it's not a guy.
See, he's like, oh, you're trying like he's not wanting to reference it directly because he's like, oh, this is just a gotcha thing. It's
You're never too old for a gotcha, idiot.
Yeah. Plus, also, it's like I feel well. Here, I'll let him go a little bit because I got some things to say about this.
Gotcha. I'm just kind of
It's a
curious.
gotcha.
The reason why I asked like these hypothetical questions is because if I don't ask the hypotheticals first, then Christians will turn around and walk all over themselves and change their minds about things that are, you know, clearly ridiculous. So it sounds to me though like you're not going to do that because you're doubling down. You're saying no, it actually is okay to kill children.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's because one thing I've learned.
Absolutely.
Okay, because here's the so I took issue with him just saying like, oh, I'm too old. I'm for these like gotcha questions. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a gotcha because you got, dude. Like,
he's not too old to get got. He's too old to care about getting got. He's like, I've already fucking submitted my will to the Lord. I don't care if I look like an idiot anymore.
yeah, but it's like he just has this attitude where I can just call this a gotcha question and therefore I win because you did a gotcha question and people think that gotcha questions are bad, so therefore you're bad and I win. But it's like,
But
no,
it may
like
not even be a gotcha question. That's a subjective assessment of who's asking, right? It could be a sincere like, hey, is it okay to do this? And that's not a gotcha, that's a test, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
It's a test for your consistency. It's a test for, you know,
Gotcha.
what you really believe. But if you're saying that they're doing this to make me look bad, well, that's how you're interpreting what they're doing.
Well, why does it make him look bad? That's the question.
Right? Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because the thing is, because of the,
Oh,
it's almost
shit.
like
My cat set her tail on fire.
What? Gotcha, cat.
Oh, it smells so bad. Are you okay, kitty? That's the second time you've done that. It smells like burning flesh down here.
It smells like hell.
Damn it.
man, that's a first. We have not had burning cat on the show before.
Now that we know that
idiot.
Nitty is not God because he doesn't like the smell of burning flesh.
Oh, fuck. Hold on.
Well, it's just cat. We don't know. Cats aren't actually mentioned in the Bible, so we don't know. Maybe God doesn't
okay?
actually like the smell of burning cat. But okay, so here's the thing: like with him
He didn't
complaining about
fucking
this being a
notice.
gotcha, it's like. But the thing about this question being a gotcha, it's like whether or not Justin intends it as a gotcha. It's almost the problem is like it is a gotcha because of the position that Joseph put himself in by saying, I'm going to read the Bible and I'm going to read everything it says about God and everything it says that God does, and I'm going to say that's good. So he painted himself into the trap of not being able to say that killing children for making fun of a bald dude is wrong.
Gotcha.
It's like he got himself. So blaming Justin for just pointing that out, say, "Oh, that's a gotcha question. I'm too old for that." It's like you did it to yourself, dude. He's just pointing it out. So, he thinks self-reflection is a gotcha. Yeah. So
Makes sense.
She's perfectly fine, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I keep a candle lit down here because these cats can have the stinkiest shits.
Mm-hmm.
Stinkier than the ones that Yahweh can't walk amongst in the camp.
Blame the cats, Nitty. I get it. It's always
Man.
the cat's fault.
Maybe I should get some cats just for that reason. I mean, not that.
You guys remember that time on the Humanity where Nitty's cat set itself on fire? That was wild.
Man, that's going to need to be a promo now. It's like, man, biblical scholars are falling asleep. Cats are lighting themselves on fire. It's crazy.
You never know what you're going to get with the Humanity, folks.
Yeah. So honestly, I haven't watched much Pat's this on the video. So I mean, do you guys want to keep going or?
I don't care. It's up to you. You're the boss.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah. Well, let's go a little bit just to see. But yeah, I may need to be calling it here soon because I still got to work tomorrow, I guess. And I have therapy tomorrow. Speaking of which.
Yeah,
just
tomorrow
said so.
I have to push around numbers for privileged people. That's my job title.
Yeah, I do a lot of that as well. Yeah. Yeah, come on. You need less flammable cats. This sounds like your fault. So.
I blame the cats like Father Joseph blames the children.
I don't know. Did that cat make fun of me for being bald?
She might have.
Yeah.
She did go the other day. So.
That's how I eisegeted that mewing. We'll see what Father Joseph has to say about that.
Meowlity.
Meowlity. Objective meowality.
Man, this is being all kinds of educational tonight. I love it.
We also come to the Humanity for the cat puns.
Yeah, now I never set out to be that kind of show, but hey, here we are.
Over time in debating with people is that in general, most gotcha questions are emotionally derived. So they're for the audience to evoke shock. And so I'll roll right in.
Okay, pause.
I said it's an all good God, and I'm serious.
I'm going to take a hot take here. All morality arguments are emotionally derived.
Yeah.
Because there is no rationality to morality because it's all about what makes you feel good or you don't feel good, what you like, what you don't like. And that's different for every individual.
Oh my God. We all know it's wrong to
XYZ.
Maul children by she-bear for fun.
Well, apparently not this guy.
It's okay when it's not for fun.
Yeah, God didn't maul him for fun. He just did it for a purpose.
So you're saying God didn't have fun doing that? I mean, come on. So I think there's a whole line of like
That
logic to probably go down there. It's like saying, well, if God wasn't having fun, I think you could extrapolate that to that it was actually wrong. Because if God didn't enjoy it, then God enjoys good things, then it must not have been good if he didn't enjoy it. So he did do it for fun, I guess. someone like Father Joe might have to admit. So
That's
that
where
made sense to me.
Father Joe needs some therapy, because how does that make you feel, Father Joe?
Man,
BS. It does sound like an animation you could make of William Lane, Doctor William Lane Craig,
Doctor.
where or Frank Turek, where they're given the moral argument for the existence of God, and then instead of torturing babies for fun, we all know it's wrong to maul children with she bears for fun.
And then show God having the time of his life.
oh, I want to see this. This needs to happen.
Like that gif of the dog like having flashbacks and shit. You know what I'm
The
talking
only
about?
dog gif I know is the side-eye dog. Sorry.
So, but you could have like Jesus's eyes, but then like a semi-opacity of children, like animate characters, the bears like body parts flying everywhere, and Jesus smiling.
You're giving me way too much production value credit here, buddy.
Ooh. All right. So Matt here apparently has watched more of this video. I don't know if he got the whole thing, but because he messaged me earlier talking about, he ends up arguing for moral relativism and doesn't realize it. So I feel like this might be, I might be, just as far as this video is, I might just be calling it here. And this might be something that like me and Matt tackle later. And if anyone else wants to join us for it, like a Nitty or a BS or what have you. We might tackle more of this.
And I'm not really doing anything. So
yeah. But so we may get to the rest of this video later. So I may need to be calling it an evening here soon. But before I do, so real quick, like I mentioned before, we're really excited. Next week, we're welcoming Kyle Butler to the show. But which I understand, apparently a lot of people, at least fans of our show, aren't familiar with Kyle. I know him like through Facebook, through our friend Derek Day, who's like one of the main reasons we have the show. I think that's how I got connected with Kyle. But yeah, just really cool dude, former pastor, current. I don't know if he considers himself atheist necessarily, just non-believer, generally really cool guy. But just as a quick teaser, for people not familiar, this is just some of his videos from his Facebook page. Just wanted to play one, just kind of give you a little taste of what Kyle is like and what he's all about.
In this journey of life, you can meet some people that you believe are very, very important people. In this journey of life, you can also meet people who other people believe are very, very important people in this life. But for you, you will never meet anyone who is more important to you than you are.
Yeah, so just a little taste. But yeah, Kyle, he's one of those guys. He's very big on, just like finding yourself and like in that process of like leaving religion, where like your entire like identity and sense of worth is like wrapped up in like all these teachings and things you're reading from a book. He's like, no, find yourself for yourself. And that's something I really dig. So
that's
I'm really
Ayn Rand shit right there.
My hot take is he seems like a less angry Durante.
Ah. He's been on with Durante before.
Actually. Am I right?
Maybe, and I will admit I'm not as familiar with Durante Lamar, but that could be accurate.
BS.
You can edit that out later. No, because Ayn Rand gets shit from the left all the time because of her capitalist takes, but she ultimately grounds everything she has in her philosophy into self-interest, and I totally agree with that. If I can understand either of your guys' self-interest, I can work better to my self-interest by knowing your self-interest.
Yeah, there's something to that for sure.
Because ultimately, it's like, everybody is always looking out for themselves, and that's how they choose what clicks and what political rallies and political ideals and ideologies in general they align with. That's what Christianity is built on, the idea of salvation. It's saving your own
Which is
fucking ass.
Yeah, the ultimate self-interest. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But also, real quick, good night, Matt. See you next week.
Nighty-night, Matt.
But apparently, Fox knows Kyle, so cool. Glad to know. All right. Let's see. I don't think I had anything else. So I guess before we sign off for the evening, either of you gents, any parting words, shameless plugs?
I don't know what the fuck I'm doing next. So,
Hey, what are you doing next, Nitty? I've seen less and less of you on the internet lately. You just kind of on a lull.
Yeah.
But hey, you still have, but you have plenty of stuff that's already up. So if people aren't familiar with you, there's plenty of things to go back and check. So
we can do that. That'd be nice. At least some comments.
I do have a candle.
I guess I could go over some comment stuff that, the comment war you can get in with Christians. It's harder to keep track of them now that YouTube is fucked off with the emails for notifications. So.
Yeah, which is weird.
I can't tell how trolling is going.
Yeah, sorry, James. We are still going, but not for much longer. So, but thanks for hopping on. And
we're landing the plane.
Anti-violence today, it varies. Come back next week. We'll see. Well, if I know, like Kyle, he's pretty anti-violent, so he'll probably still be on that kick next week as well. But yeah,
I'm a pacifist, so always have been.
Nice. But so yeah, check out Nitty's channel.
I punch violence in the face.
It's violence in the face. Yeah, take that violence.
Yeah.
Stick some bears on it. But yeah, for people curious, check out Nitty's channel. You can click on his name here in the chat. Same with B.S. Lewis, another great channel. Really enjoy both of these guys' stuff, and I also enjoy when they want to come and hang out with me on here. It's always a good time.
Where else am I gonna find cats randomly catching themselves on fire, dude?
Fucking moron.
That's Nitty.
I was where was I? I was on Gather with with Jay. Oh, this is during around Christmas time, and this cat is just not spatially aware of her fucking tail, and she wants to cuddle me so bad that she'll jump through fire.
I can't blame her.
Wow.
Yeah,
that gets you.
It's true. I do have footage. I don't know. Was that before or after my channel reboot? Might have been before, though.
Well, I'm intrigued. So, all right. Well, BS, any parting thoughts, plugs?
I'm currently not working on anything. I'm taking a lull like Nitty. But I did just put out a music video, if anybody hasn't seen it.
Yes.
Korak the Bard from Atheism 101.
Yes. Yeah. Possum God. That was fantastic.
We're definitely not trying to indoctrinate the youth. I have to put that in the disclaimer.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. But also BS, plenty of good content on his channel. So yeah, definitely recommend. And all the things that good YouTube hosts are supposed to say about other folks.
Yeah, go watch on my channel. Christianity Has a Branding Problem, and you can see me and Nitty together.
Ooh, nice. Well, I know I sure will. So, all right. So yeah. Announce next week, Kyle Butler. Be sure to follow, subscribe to us and to the Nitty and the B.S. Lewis, and the Dr. Kip, who apparently is still asleep, and good for him. I'll try to get there soon here myself. Other than that, we'll be back next week with a Matt and a Kyle. So
can I ask Can I ask a
Mhm.
request before you end it out?
Ooh, what's that?
Maybe you can end it out with your promo.
If I
Just a
must.
thought. Just a thought.
I mean, I did put so much work into it. So, all right. Since you and I'm sure many other people silently asked for as well. One more time. Hit it, Dr. Kip. Take us out.
If you aren't subscribed to the Humanity, make sure you subscribe. They stream on Wednesday nights, and it's usually pretty good. But I hope you appreciate what I did for you.
Oh, yeah. I wondered where you went. Get those off.
We're that fascinating.
I did that for you, my friend.
All right. Well, thanks again. And as we usually say to end the show, may your things and stuff be forever with your people. See you next week. And thanks again to B.S. Lewis and Nitty for joining us tonight. Appreciate the help. We'll be back with Matt and Kyle Butler next week. Have a good night.